Mic check. Happy Friday, everybody. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your boy C.I.P. is live. We're back. Welcome back to Culture Invasion. Your boy took a hiatus. Was dealing with some personal growth. And that's why we're here tonight. As always, there's an angle to Culture Invasion. This podcast is never just about the social stuff or the vacations or the fun side of life with Soca Sunday. Sometimes we got to face the music, the philosophy. Together, how are you, sis? Good to see you. Good to see you. Tonight's show, I can't save anyone if I can't save myself. Put the mask on yourself before the child. Love yourself before loving others. Had a vacation, as you know. Learned a few things about myself as I turned 50. Black Couch, how are you, bro? Let me know if audio sounds good, you guys. But, it is green light night tonight. Your boy CIP's got the ASMR story voice for you. All right? We're gonna calm our nerves tonight. We're gonna explore a little bit about loving yourself, understanding yourself, and the adventures that we go on through life that aid in that personal development. I'm going to put a poll up in the chat. I think I should do that. Self-discovery's talk for tonight. Do we want to look at this from the human angle or the adventure time angle? Hey, why won't it let me start a poll? Why isn't it? What the heck is YouTube doing over here? Well, that's bizarre. I can't log into my own chat and talk and participate with my chat. Engagement is broken? How is engagement broken? YouTube, what is going on? Oh, I see. Let's try this. 1 second, y'all. All right. The poll is up in the chat. Please interact with your boy CIP.
So they can take advantage of your niceness. They love you when you're nice.
Little
so
music.
They can call your phone when they in crisis. When Laffy do, they just disappear.
Gotta
when
listen to the lyrics
they
here.
just reappear. Magic. Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. How you always want and
No montage this time either, you guys. We're just going right into the show. So riding on the vibes of vacation, riding on the vibes of the Soca Sunday, the one Soca Sunday that you guys missed. We're gonna start with some of this. Enjoy. And thanks, Black Couch. Audio is good together. Thank you so much for being here, Jess. We got the HR representative looking at us over here. We got to behave, you guys. The handler is on the scene. And your boy CIP's got a handler. She's hiding in the chat somewhere. No more Mr. Nice Guy, you guys. We gotta have some kind of growth, boundaries. Let me watch this poll, see what you guys are thinking. Thinking the human angle first. All right. I like that. All right. I'm going to close out that poll. We're going to run with it, y'all. Oh, 50-50. All right, I need one vote. I need one vote in the chat. I stopped at 50-50. Someone's got to throw up a tiebreaker in the chat for me. H&M, did you vote already, bro? Should we go with human adventures first or adventure time first? The human psychobabble and analysis, or should we go into adventure time? Self-discovery is the theme this evening. All right, H&M says human. All right, y'all. Well, human it is. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. See you on the other side of the intro.
Once you pull up in this when the killing will begin, you feel me pulling up the skin. I really came to get it and deliver murder gram.
Sakafet salutations and salute to each and every one of you, my beautiful people. Your boy C.I.P. is back, and I just want to say,
nigga, it's just big me, nigga.
we back. We back, y'all. We back. All right. You see, your boy C.I.P. did have a little bit of a hiatus. That's normal. We all need a little bit of a mental health break. We all need a little bit of time to recenter ourselves. Where is my girl Twigs? She's out there somewhere, and I can't hear her. There she is. All right, let's go. There we go. We need that Twigs in the background. All right. 12. What's good, sis? Good to see you. Happy to see you here as well. All right, y'all. So, self-discovery. Let's start with this. Little background. Your boy C.I.P. comes from a large family. Parents divorced when I was about 15 years old. During that time, I am the oldest of 4 siblings. So, first of all, shout out to the oldest. Your oldest child out there, you already know, you should know, provided there was some solid dynamics there where responsibility fell on our shoulders. And then to varying degrees, depending on the situations we were in. I was told at a young age to look out for the ladies of the family. As I got older, that divorce between mom and dad became a matriarchal rule that I was under. Yes, sis, I did get a tan. Actually, I'm burnt. You do not want to see my shoulders. You do not want to see my back. You do not. I look like beef jerky right now. It's gross. I've been exfoliating, trying to get rid of that mess. Your boy's shedding like a lizard. But a lot of my personal growth as a child was in service to others. In service to others. You're the oldest, help mom. You're the oldest, help the brothers and sisters with their homework. You're the oldest, help mom cook dinner for the youngers. You're the oldest, help dad do this, that, and the other. You're the oldest. Responsibility framed as structure. But when adults aren't prepared to be adults, to be parents, that structure actually turns out to be control. More times than not, that structure turns out to be control. I don't care who you are. You use your angle, your power, your discipline as a parent to control, right? So if you're unhealthy, you're just controlling a car speeding down the road at 90 miles an hour, heading for a brick wall, right? You have no direction whatsoever. And I think more than not, a lot of us find ourselves in that position as the oldest child. We never ask to be brought here. We didn't ever ask to be born, never asked to be brought into this world of absolute and utter pain, right? There's the pleasure along with it, but there's a lot more growth and pain and things that we especially community that looks like me now that I have a tan, especially our community. Accountability is not a word we use lightly. Matter of fact, I don't think it's part of the vocabulary in the Black community. But that's not why we're here. Right? We'll talk about the social aspects of things in accountability in society in another episode. This episode is specifically surrounds giving too much and not loving yourself. So from the time I was 15, I am now 50. That's 30 some years your boy spent basically being guilted into responsibility. Never given the chance to be poured into. Never finding truly who he was for a very long time because I lived under the shadow of my elders. And more than anything, I lived under the shadow of a man, my father. I'm a man. So as men, those of us who are higher than a level 3 mentally, we seek an image to be like, right? A lot of guys fall into the fandom thing. George, you got Jordans. Everybody knows Michael Jordan stats. Everybody knows Vic stats. Everybody knows this guy's stats, that guy's stats. That's what they remember. But, you talk about the relationships, them and their daddies, and right? More times than not, I've interacted with brothers, men, gentlemen who've had sordid relationships with their fathers. Very rarely do I see men hold their heads up high and say, I want to be just like my father. Very rarely. In my case, I wanted to be the antithesis, the opposite, polar opposite of everything my father was. I wanted to be insightful. I wanted to be caring to the woman in my life. I wanted to be attentive to the children that I squirt. I want to be a good, patient man, not a menace. All right? I want you to marinate on that for a little bit. Not a menace. We're not going to go into specifics of that, but we're just simply going to say when you're a child and you grow up in a tumultuous home, a home where adults can be menacing because they're basically pieces of shit. They're basically pieces of shit, right? Hurt people hurt people. If you're not healed and they're running around here having kids, you're just going to hurt those kids, right? What do we do with that? What do we do with that as humans? What do we do with that as adults? Especially if we don't have the tools, especially if, like in the Black community, God forbid, you get some kind of psychotherapy or some kind of counselor to talk to because you need a third party outside of the situation you're in. Again, who are you going to talk to in your family if your family's the one that's hurting you? Food for thought. All right, we're going to start our adventures this evening from the human side of things. You guys, the invaders, I love you guys, each and every one of you. Shout out to y'all. You guys made the vote. Yeah, man. Kids come from your balls. You know where they come from. Babies come from your balls. You squirt them out. It's all biological. I squirt out the seed. The woman squirts out the kid. Boom, you got a whole person. Cloning complete. You successfully held the family together and you are still here. Hey, leadership. I learned leadership early. I held pieces of the family together. I was a hero to a degree, but that need to want to be a hero started to spiral. It spiraled into the community. It spiraled into my relationships. It spiraled into all facets of my life. We're going to talk about that. Very good point, though. You didn't bring any kids out of wedlock. You remained responsible. True. The other side of this, right? I did break a family curse, right? I did break some of that generational bullshit. That's absolutely correct. As the eldest, I completely resonate with this. Y'all, how are you, sweetie? Nice to see you this evening, sis. Oh, y'all. Why didn't y'all tell me? Your boy C.I.P. is slacking. To all the ladies that are out there,
Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Hey.
y'all got the ooh la la ah wee wee. I gotta riz y'all up. All right. Leon, what's good, bro? Good to see you. Messy, how are you, sis? Everybody say what's up to Messy. She is the travel bestie. Jess, I think you're familiar with Miss Messy. All right, y'all. So let's see here. Let me flip the screen, flip the script a little bit. So this evening, we are going to be doing a little bit of everything. It's going to kind of be an insomnia episode, so we're going to be up for a while. But it's all about self-discovery and not crashing out, right? We're not crashing out. We are mature adults. We are going to explore, and we're going to analyze what is disrupting our lives, and we're going to learn from it. We're going to take accountability for it, right? It's a difficult word for some. But we are going to be accountable for our own feelings, for our own boundaries. All right, y'all. So, psychotherapist. Your boy C.I.P. don't mess around. Y'all know that. Psychotherapist, author, lecturer, and hope dealer. Now, does C.I.P. necessarily believe in hope? Maybe. There's hope there. There is hope there. But we're going to concentrate on what Mr. Connie has to say about if you're a people pleaser, what that looks like through life. We've got a double feature tonight, y'all. Both of these are running about a half an hour apiece. Your boy CIP's got a lot to share. I will skip through commercial breaks respectfully to the content creators. That is why they are in the chat. Go subscribe to Mr. Connie. Show him some love. Right now, our gentleman brother is running at 10.4 thousand subscribers. That's a good number, bro. Very, very, very good number. And you'll soon see why. So sit back, relax, enjoy. We're here together. As mentioned, your boy CIP's learning. We be learning. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear Mr. Connie, which you should be able to now. You know, 1 in the chat, y'all.
I've come to realize that I used to be a people pleaser. So this week we're going to talk about people pleasing, and we're going to talk about how to break the cycle of it. So let's start off by defining it. People pleasing.
All right. Thank you, Messi.
We often think of it in the very basic ways, like you put others' needs more than yourself. But it's also about caring so much about what other people think about you and why they think it that you like disregard your own personal needs. You do for other people to fulfill yourself, and you're completely guided by and led by what other people think about you, and you try to like control what other people think about you. I was that kind of people pleaser. As a kid, I was obsessed is a really strong word, but I really, really cared a lot about what people thought about me. And
I'm going to pause it right there real quick here. So CIP was never really worried about what people thought about me. Here's what happened. And this is why I say culture the hero, right? CIP the hero. I wasn't so concerned about what people thought about me because I already was bullied. I had already been through the gauntlet of being a kid. And I knew what that felt like, right? My first name is a funky French name. May say it one day, may not. But at any rate, got a very, very, very funky French name. Fucked up. My mother, why did you do that to me as a child? They made fun of me. They made a hell of fun of me. Plus, I'm a little weird light-skinned kid with fluffy curly hair. I don't look like the other little brothers in the class. They were making fun of me. What are you? Where are you from? Your name's funny. Oh, yeah, the bus rides home were great. Anyway, trial by fire. All good. Trial by fire. But that made me understand quickly. The empathy built quickly to understand what other kids were going through. Which friends were being abused? You can spot that. Which friends were having a hard life at home? You can spot that. I, as a young person, would bring my friends into the fold of what I could for them to be healthy. Come over, hang out with me. It's a safe place kind of friend, right? All through middle school and high school. All through middle school and high school. Always in service to others because I knew what it was like growing up in a home of a menace. All right? We're going to leave it at that. Of a menace. Then being bullied. Then getting your ass kicked in the hallway. Normal things. You build empathy. You build grit. And you either build an ill will and ill sentiment, or you learn from it and you start gaining a little more insight. You get a little bit smarter about how you maneuver and socialize with other people, and you see what happens to other people who don't have the same skills as you. I chose to be someone who looked out for those people. So I was never really concerned with what others thought about me. That shit just came over time. It was my concern for others, and that's where the people pleaser piece came, because you're not going to save everyone. Everyone's not going to be ready to hear the message that you have to share or receive it or understand what it is they're being told. So
that influenced my behavior in a major way. Like I
Mona
couldn't
D,
handle
how are you, sis?
people being mad at me or people not liking me. And it stopped me from being my truest, most authentic self. And over time, I came to do better. I came to learn how to be a better version of myself. I came to heal from the things that caused that behavior. And I didn't associate that with people pleasing at the time. It actually wasn't until later in life when I realized one form of people pleasing is caring so much about what other people think that you let other people's thoughts guide your actions and influence your actions. And we're going to talk about how to break that cycle here today. So welcome back to the Aha Moments, where every day I share the lessons I've learned in my work as a psychotherapist and in my life to inspire you to live your very best life. Of course, I'm your host, Elliot Connie. People pleasing is just a really troubling, difficult way to live your life. Whenever you're being your most authentic self, you're going to have to live with some people don't like you. Like you cannot be authentic and universally liked, because you're gonna stand on opinions. You're gonna have thoughts, opinions. You're gonna take actions and make decisions that someone else won't like. And I was really, really afraid of that. And I can remember, this is gonna sound so stupid, but
your boy C.I.P's never been scared to express his opinion. Ladies out there with children, male children, don't ever ask a baby C.I.P. if this dress makes me look fat, or start discussing the dimensions of the female form with a young, innocent, honest baby C.I.P. next to you, because I'll say, yeah, you're fat. Yeah, I'll say it. Yeah, Mom, why are you fat? Yeah.
But I remember being in the 3rd grade.
I was that kid.
You bring your lunch to school, and we're all like sitting in the classroom eating lunch. And this one kid had a chocolate soda. I'll never forget this day, but this one kid had a chocolate soda. And he took a sip of his soda, and he went, ew, this is gross. Another kid was like, let me try it. So he tried it. Oh, this is so gross. And it almost gets like passed around the room. And everybody, like, this is gross. This is gross. It gets to me. I took a sip of it. I thought it was delicious. I thought it was wonderful. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, whatever happened to chocolate soda? Like, I haven't seen a chocolate flavored soda, maybe even since then. I don't know, but I remember this. And I took a sip of it, and I thought, oh my God, this is delicious.
They had chocolate soda on the ship. Shout out to Virgin. They had chocolate soda on the ship. They sure did. They had a soda bar in my favorite hangout on that ship. They sure as hell did. Shout out.
But I was so afraid to say that I liked it, going against the grain of what everybody else said. So I just pretended. I said, oh yeah, this is gross. But like secretly, I was like, why would I say that? Well, I did that because I really cared what everybody thought. And I didn't want them to think I was an outsider. I was different. I didn't fit in. I didn't want them to make fun of me, pick on me. I didn't want them to think I wasn't one of the cool kids. I didn't want them to think I was not like them. But that's the biggest, when you're a people pleaser.
It's funny how people pleasing manifests differently in people. It's really interesting, right? We're all different. We're all gonna approach situations differently, and things are gonna appeal to us differently. For him, it was the internal. For me, it was the external.
and you're putting other people's needs ahead of yours, even the need for comfort, when you're a people pleaser, you pay a really heavy price. And I learned, even at that early age, like young Elliot.
12, it was like a body awareness thing. It was like a, oh, well, those women are skinny. You look fat. So it was awareness. I was getting older. I realized, oh, look, here's a Cosmopolitan magazine. You don't look like them pictures, mommy.
Third grade, so I'm probably, 7, 8 years old. I was afraid to just be my real self. Like, yeah, I like this chocolate soda. I remember another experience being at baseball practice, and everybody was making fun of Michael Jackson. And I was the only black kid on that baseball team. And I was like, I like Michael Jackson, but I was afraid to say it. And you have to be who you are in order to have like strong, healthy, like mental health. You have to be who you are supposed to be. You have to be who you are designed to be. You have to be what is right for you. It is not
Authenticism, but authenticism takes accountability. It does. You have to be accountable for what you say, what you speak, what you stand on, and who you are as an individual outside of the norm. So you have to be boots on the ground on your square. You have to. You have to be authentic.
enough.
Because when you're not and you start bullshitting around, going with the crowd, you start entering that hypocritical bullshit. But anyway,
to just walk around pleasing everybody, because then you're never really going to find out what you love, what you enjoy,
right.
what
You're not going to
ignites your
you're being a
passion,
hypocrite
what
to
feels
yourself.
good, what triggers you to do positive things, what inspires you, what makes you work hard. You never really learn those things.
You're
And
cheating
those
yourself.
things are incredibly powerful. So think about that. Like, as you are thinking about, am I people pleasing without realizing it? Like, do I prioritize what other people think? Am I afraid to tell them that I like this thing or I like that thing? Because you're going to get yourself into trouble. And it's the kind of trouble that you're going to pay a heavy psychological cost for a very long time.
All right, part
If
two.
you're going to learn to stop people pleasing, and I wish there was a word for it, like, and for the purposes of this week, I'm going to use the word authenticity. So if you're going to start being your authentic self more than people pleasing, you're going to have to start saying no more. Because people who people please, they say yes to almost everything. And
No is a complete sentence. I want you guys to know that no is a complete sentence. That's it. Nope. That's it. I learned that with my family. My nuclear family has made some of the dumbest decisions over the past 365 days. Some of the dumbest decisions. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Mother, father, siblings, all of them. All right? Their choices, their freedoms, their lives. But you want to involve me? No. Full stop.
to be honest, I wish that we didn't use the word people pleasing either, because it's not just people pleasing. Like, I want to please you. It's not just that. It's just putting other people's needs, wants, comforts, desires, whatever it is, as a higher priority than your own. And we do that all the time. We don't even realize we're doing it. And sometimes it's appropriate to do. Like if you're in a relationship and you're really not in the mood for Italian food, but your partner wants Italian food and you want them to have a good night. So I'm going to prioritize their needs. People pleasing is when you do that all of the time. It's when you do that constantly.
Absolutely.
It's when you're constantly allowing someone else's needs to mean more than yours. It's when you're constantly being influenced to prioritize somebody else's desires and comforts more than you are yours. It's like this constant thing that we're constantly doing, and we got to learn how to be authentic. We got to learn how to be authentic. And the first step in authenticity is saying no. And I'm going to talk about why that's so important. I'm going to talk about the consequences of not saying no, and I'm going to talk about why that matters. The biggest consequence that happens when you say yes too often is you build resentment.
And this is 100% true. Yes, I'll do that for you. Yes, I'll do that for you. Yes, I'll do that for you. When they are not pouring into you and simply using you as utility, it becomes resent. It becomes resent. I 100% resent my nuclear family. 100%. And had to work out of that, right? and release all that and understand that I'm free of that commitment, because no is a complete sentence. So I don't have to burden myself with the guilt, right? I've released that.
Get really resentful towards the people or things that you are saying yes to, and you get yourself overwhelmed. For example, when I opened my therapy practice, I was so like hungry to succeed. I didn't have any boundaries in my schedule. I would see anybody anytime. And I ended up working 6 days a week, which was fine. Like I didn't mind that. I worked Monday through Friday, and I worked a lot of hours those days. And then I worked a half day on Saturday. So I'd wake up, I'd go see a few clients, be done in the early afternoon, be home by like 2 o'clock, and still felt like I had my weekend. And I remember one day I was working with a client, and their schedule got crazy, my schedule got crazy, and the only day that they could come in for therapy was Sunday. And I said yes. And so I gotta get dressed. I gotta drive to the office. When I get to the office, I gotta like turn on all the lights and like set everything up in the office. And then the client came and I did the session. It was like an hour and a half, whatever it was. And then I'm in the office, so I ended up doing some paperwork and ended up doing some other things. By the time I got home, I felt like I'd like lost my weekend, because my weekend, the one day that I had to myself was Sunday, and I'd watch football and I'd relax and I would like kind of tend to myself. But on this particular day, I said yes, and I end up resenting that I said yes. If you live a lifestyle of that, you're going to be irritable, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be tired, you're going to be exhausted. And I don't mean tired like I didn't sleep enough last night, but like you're going to be like emotionally tired because you're just pouring into other people all the time, while other people aren't always pouring into you.
Your boy C.I.P. just said that. And the biggest individuals, the largest group of individuals that will drain you and pull from you, the biggest energy vampires are always going to be family. Always going to be family. If they are not pouring into you, all it is going to be a burden. That's it. That's it. That's all. Like Messi says.
And it was a nightmare. It was like really, really difficult. And I remember saying, never again. I'm not seeing any more clients on Sunday ever again, which, to be honest, I didn't stick to and have seen other clients on Sunday since.
Right.
But my point is, like, you do have to learn to say no, and you have to stick to those no's. And people have a tendency not to like no. People have a tendency to blame you for saying no.
Here we go.
People will ask you for something, and if you say no, they say, you've changed, you're not the same, how could you not be there for me?
That right there, that perspective is absolutely everyone in my family. Right before, the night before I left for my trip, I had a 4 a.m. Departure slot. Family's going through some storage, this, that, and the other, moving things about, archives. Well, we're doing this right now. You just come help, do this. We're going to do the thing. And I said, no, we're not going to do the thing. I'm waiting on a delivery. I'm packing my tech bag, pulling my camera off the mount, doing what I got to do for myself to go on my birthday vacation. I'm not breaking stride as an adult with a fucking plan because you want me to jump and step and hop and do whatever the fuck. No. You've changed. You don't help. You're not part of this family. Typical bitch shit. Typical shit. And it's a very, very, very low mental level of thinking. Again, we'll talk about the whole math levels and get back into that because our bros brought out even more content. But with the levels, it's low level thinking. Fire, water, fuck, feed yourself, right? Nothing higher than that. I matter. You don't matter. What you're thinking about doesn't matter. I'm not going to pour into you or even care about you. Damn you to hell. You're not doing what I need you to do for me. I got them fat bitches in my family too, y'all.
You for saying no. People will ask you for something, and if you say no, they say, you've changed, you're not the same, how could you not be there for me? But you have to stick to...
Not miss the flight 12, but delay my schedule. I'm an adult with a schedule. If you need to get in touch with me for something, we plan it like fucking adults and put it on a fucking calendar, and then I will show up 5 minutes early on the time and date as planned. But I have a life, I have a schedule, and motherfuckers better respect that. In my ASMR voice.
Your no. Like, you have to really stick to that boundary, because it's really not no, and it's really not rejection, and you're really not like saying no to someone so that you could punish them. Saying no is an act of self-love. It's saying, I love myself enough, and I know myself enough that if I say yes to that, it's going to somehow end up being difficult and damaging to me. So I'm going to go ahead and say no, because I don't want to go to that party. I'm going to be up too late. Or I'm going to say no, like I don't want to go hang out. When I was in graduate school, Texas Hold'em got really popular, and a friend of mine would host these Texas Hold'em parties. And she would say, you want to come over for this party? And I'd be like, no, I can't come over because I was studying and working really hard to get my master's degree. She got really, really mad. Like, you don't want to hang out anymore. You think you're better than us. Like, and it was
Boom,
none of that.
there it
It's
is.
just, I knew that I don't have the kind of brain.
Why do you have to say she? Why is it always a she? Ladies, talk amongst yourselves. Why is it always the she's of the families and in the social groups that got these attitudes?
That I can go play Texas
Narcissists.
Hold'em all night and then come home and study for a bit, and I'll retain anything. I knew I had to stay focused. I had to like keep focusing on the schoolwork I was doing, and I had to not care whether she
Queen,
got mad or not.
go to bed.
And she did get mad.
Get your nap on,
Now,
sis.
it took us a couple of years, but after I graduated and things kind of settled down, we were able to reconnect. But like, I know myself, and I know that going to play Texas Hold'em a couple nights a week would have jeopardized my ability to get a master's degree. So if you want to be someone who overcomes people pleasing and becoming your most authentic self, start saying no.
There it is.
People pleasing can
All right. So I'm going to skip this section. I did watch that. It's more of like an ad read, personal adventure. And we're going to skip forward. Again, everybody, this is Elliot Connie. Elliot Connie, go give the brother some love. He is a psychotherapist. He is an author and lecturer, man of esteem, classy gentleman, and he's got some insight. The brother is working to help us build a better community, all right? All right, get the help, get the advice you need. We're going to have some fun with this advice in a little bit, right? The main event's coming up right after we get through Elliot. So let's hear it from the human perspective, then we're going to go on an adventure, y'all.
Being a people pleaser is a challenge. And the biggest challenge is at some point you realize my inability to set boundaries is costing me my mental health. One of the ways that you can know this, one of the ways that you can become aware of your people pleasing and how it is having a negative impact on you and your personality is simply by paying attention to how people interact with you and how many people try to manipulate you by using things like guilt.
Yeah.
Like they'll say things to you like,
triggers.
Man, you used to do this kind of stuff for me. If you loved me, you would do this.
There we go.
You should do this because your mom or dad would have done this for you. Like
There it is. There it is. They're the guilt triggers, right? And those are those family tie triggers, right? Those are those apron strings, the proverbial apron strings between you and the family that they just won't let go of because they're so afraid to stand on their own. Because more than likely they ain't shit, all right? I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. It's pure narcissism for them to try and stop another individual from finding solace and finding peace and finding what they need to heal, right? Selfish, very, very selfish, very narcissistic behaviors.
They say these things and it works. Like you feel real guilty and then you go off and do it. And at some point you realize like this is causing me harm. Like this level of manipulation is messing with my mental health. This level of manipulation is impacting me in ways that I'm not pleased about and in ways that I'm not proud of. Like this level of manipulation is having a serious impact on my life and how I live it. This level of manipulation is doing something to me. So what do you do? Like, how do you begin to set boundaries without experiencing guilt? And the answer is you don't.
You don't.
you have to set the boundary first and then deal with all of the negative emotions.
And see, it's beyond the negative emotions as well, because they're going to be mad, right? I've lived a whole life of people being selfish and angry at me when I put boundaries up. So that's fine. Or I don't do enough, as in their eyes. I don't participate enough. Um, I don't give a fuck about how they feel. That's not the problem. The problem is the empathy I have, because 9 times out of 10, I see and feel and understand that you're a dumb fuck doing dumb shit. But I'm going to put up the boundary and say, no, I'm not going to participate and help you with your fuckery. I'm not going to participate and be verbally abused by you because you want to treat me however the fuck you want to treat me while I'm helping you. Dad. I mean, it just is what it is, right? That's family. That's that close draw and that abuse that they can impose upon you.
That come with setting the boundary. Now, I told you, I am someone that has had a habit throughout my life of people pleasing.
Yeah.
I worked to please other people and make other people more comfortable. Like, it's what I did. I didn't realize that was people pleasing at the time. Like, I didn't understand it as such, but it is definitely what I did. And in learning how to step away from that behavior and become a better version of me, I had to learn how to set a boundary and make that a part of my life. But here's the thing. Every single time that I've set a boundary, I have felt guilty about it.
Nope.
I felt bad about it. Every single time I've set a boundary, I've felt like, oh, I wish I didn't have to do that. And I feel bad for that person. And gosh, that's really terrible. Am I a bad person for doing that? To this day, I still feel that. But
Mike
here's
Love,
the thing.
how you doing,
move
bro?
the boundary just because you feel a little bit of guilty. Don't move the boundary just because you feel a little bit bad. It's an exercise in like holding your boundary until you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I should have done that, right? It's like, oh yeah, that's right, I should have kept this boundary strong because I deserve to feel good about the way that I'm moving and navigating through things.
Absolutely.
I can promise you, like, the longer you practice holding your boundary, the less like guilt you feel about it. Like, the less guilty you feel from having to hold a boundary. The less you feel bad for the person for whom you are using your boundary with. This is incredibly important, and most people overlook it. Like, most people don't understand. Like, it's not about how do I enforce a boundary without feeling guilty. It's about how do I hold the boundary while I feel guilty. I've accepted I'm probably going to feel guilty for the rest of my life every time I give a boundary. And I actually think that's a good thing. That means I'm not some uncaring, mean, lack of empathy person.
There it is. Exactly. The empathy still remains. You still care. You just don't have the capacity to participate in well, like in my case, in the fuckery, right?
I feel bad about this person feeling bad. That's okay. In fact, I would say that's a good thing. That means you care. That means you're a reasonable, responsible person.
You are.
That is legitimately and categorically a good thing. Just don't move the boundary. That's where the people pleaser struggles. It has nothing to do with the emotion that you feel, like guilt. It has everything to do with, do you make decisions and take actions based upon that emotion?
Right.
So that's the key. That's the key. Make sure that you always, always, always take action from a place of what is good and healthy for me, not guilt.
All right.
People
Final
pleasing
segment.
is such a significant problem, and I know that most of you know that, but I want to talk about why. The moment you start people pleasing, you are inevitably going to end up depressed.
Hold on. That's a nice watch, bro. What, you got an Invictus on there? You got a nice watch on, y'all. Shout out to him. All right, bro. I see you. I see you.
And anxious. Because you're trying to control something that you actually can't control. And you might not realize you're doing this, but you're actually trying to control people's perception of you. You want people to like you. You want people to think and speak positively of you. You want people to hire you. You want people to be associated with you. Like, you want people you're actually trying to control other people. And that's a really, really difficult way to live. And the more you try to do that, the more you get anxious. The more.
So remember that, you guys. Those of us that are the people pleasers, right? Try to be those heroes. You are simply doing this in the end for some kind of personal gratification. And we have to set that boundary up for ourselves. It's not that we're bad people. It's not that we're bad people at all. We just have to protect ourselves.
You get depressed. And the more you get hurt, because when you feel like, okay, so I think I've done enough for that person to like me and say
it's never
positive about
enough.
me and be like good to me.
It's never enough.
And then they don't do that. You get hurt, and that's what triggers the depression.
And the other, you absolutely feel some kind of way after that, right? It goes along with that empathy. You feel that you haven't accomplished the hero role that you were supposed to, right? Because they keep reflecting that bullshit back on you.
And it's a really, really difficult.
It becomes a circle.
Way to live your life. Now, I know that there are people out there, and you're like a chronic people pleaser. You're someone that this is such an ingrained habit. It's so deeply ingrained in you. It's so deeply
Little sis, how you doing?
In what you do and how you do it. And you're thinking,
how are things your way?
What do I do? I want to speak to those people today. I want to speak to those people that are like, you're almost stuck in this habit of people pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to speak to those people today because there's something you need to learn and there are actions you need to take to become the best version of you. Like, that's what this podcast is all about. Like, you becoming the best version of you. And I hope I can say something today to help you do that. What do you guys do? Like, how do you become the best version of yourself when people pleasing is such a deeply ingrained habit? Like, what do you do to overcome this? What do you do to become your best self? The answer is you have to love yourself. Like, I've been a practicing psychotherapist.
And we're going to get into loving yourself here shortly, y'all. It's all about that.
For nearly 20 years. And people often ask me, like, what are the kinds of things, what are the most important things that people come to therapy with? Like, what are the kinds of things that bother people enough that it causes them to come into therapy? You know, they expect me to say things like addiction, depression, anxiety, but the absolute truth.
Hey, sis. So our brother here, Mr. Elliot Connie, I'm going to go on and do this again here. I'm going to pop his information in the chat again. So he is a psychotherapist, author, lecturer. This time we are talking about people pleasing. Your boy C.I.P., you knew it. You knew what your boy C.I.P. was doing, sis. I'm sure you saw. I went on a small hiatus. Well, I had reached a point of maximum emotional stress. I had a conflict with a family member, my father, and that had been something that has gone on for about 35 years. And I finally put my foot down and I said, you know what? It's time for me to love me and not be a people pleaser, not try to be the lost son that never was, right? Because parents only have but so much capacity when relationships are strained. So we're all human, and your boy C.I.P. learned, and that's what we're here for. We're here to share the story, and we're here to see what everybody else goes through. Maybe there are some other heroes out there. Maybe there's some others that were the oldest siblings and found themselves in similar situations and positions, and may not have come out the other side as clean as C.I.P. has. But then again, I'm 50. Right. And I just now am catching up to loving myself. So we all take strides in life at our own paces, and our scope of understanding things, like what it truly means to love yourself and put boundaries up. Things take time. Things take time. That's one thing CIP is learning. Have patience. Have patience.
Like, at the core of what brings people into therapy, it's the fact that they are prioritizing.
All right, take a nap, sis.
Other than themselves.
Stay healthy, please. Please stay healthy.
People-pleasing. We don't realize we're doing it, but like,
is this why I'm calm?
I remember having a friend.
Yeah, sis. We turn in pages of our stories in our life. We try to evolve a little bit.
But when he got accepted into college, and we were all in high school, kind of, talking about what we're going to major in, what we're going to do in college, and all those sorts of things, and He said he's going to major in, I don't remember what it was, but let's say engineering. And I was like, why aren't you studying art? Like,
That's right, you are the
thing
oldest.
You wanted to do. And he said, my dad won't pay for college unless I study, I think it was finance, unless I.
That's a hard position to be in. But I do understand the difference between wanting to seek your own future and being bound to honoring your family's wishes. I think a lot of Asian friends understand that as well.
I study finance. And I was like, but that's not who you are. But he was like, yeah, but my dad's not going to pay for college unless I do it. And obviously, his father is like financially incentivizing him, but that's a people-pleasing decision. I'd rather do this than take the harder path, which would cause me to go to college, find a way to pay for it by myself, upset my dad, have my dad and I having uncomfortable, difficult conversations. That's tough. But the lesson I want you guys to get from this entire week having this talk about how do you break the cycle of people pleasing is you have to choose the harder, more uncomfortable path.
Right.
You're going to have harder conversations with your.
And that's what life is about, you guys. It's about the difficult paths. Life isn't easy as adults, and we often want the express path. Now, I'm not saying don't cheat here or there to get your goal, but what I'm saying is take the more difficult path. There is something to be gained from that. He says serious cry lines.
It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be difficult. And through the difficulties and through the challenges and through the hardships, you're going to have to figure out a way to do it anyway.
Adulting.
You're going to have to figure out a way to like focus on the rightest part of you anyway. You're going to be like, it's going to be hard. I heard this quote, like life is going to be difficult. You have to choose the difficulties that are worth suffering for.
There it is.
So it's going to be hard. That guy went on to major in finance and like he lived a miserable life. We're still friends on Facebook, and it is a miserable existence. He's had a couple of divorces. Nothing about his life looks happy. He doesn't enjoy his career. And I go back to who we were as seniors in high school, and I thought, if you could change anything, if you could train all of that to have like the hard conversation with your dad and figure out a way to pay for your own college, take out student loans, like figure it out.
Oof.
Would that person be
not the student loans?
I strongly believe the answer is yes. And I want to say to you now, choose the more uncomfortable path. It will always lead to the greatest riches.
There it is.
Thanks for being here. If you wouldn't mind doing me a super.
All right. So I'm going to do you the favor here, Brother Connie. I'm going to plug in. Let's go. I need all of y'all. Team Replay, you included. Go subscribe to Brother Elliot Connie Speaks, right? Exactly, sis. And thank you for chiming in on that gem as well. Therapy is some good shit. We all need a third party to talk to outside of this situation. I don't care. I don't care what you say. I don't care. You find somebody outside of the situation you are in to discuss it who has a background in our health. Don't fuck around, y'all. Take care of yourselves. It ain't just about the brawn, the body, and building your physique. You have to take care of your mind. You have to be able to navigate these crazy situations we're in, especially with energy and emotional vampires, right? We got to do more for ourselves. Yes. My favorite part. And don't just think this is some cartoon, right? We can't do that. All right. We can't do that. We can't do that to ourselves. We can't cut ourselves short of learning something about ourselves. What we're going to talk about right now is a wonderful, wonderful show, Adventure Time. I didn't start watching Adventure Time until I was a full-grown ass man, maybe 40, 46, 47. Got my shoulder operated on, and I couldn't do nothing but be trapped in my apartment for the first week. And then for the second week was the holidays. So I had to go through Christmas and then New Year's without seeing a doctor. So I had plenty of time to sit back and watch some animated shows. Well, our brother here, Mr. Lessons of, at Lessons of, go Check him out. If it is your jam, you're gonna experience Mr. Lessons of and the lessons that he has to share here on CIP. But if you like this content, go subscribe, because you're going to be seeing more of it over here. There's going to be some fun stuff out of this. And we very well may, if you guys decide, extend this episode and go into another lessons of to bridge what he talks about at the end. So, the end of the episode that I chose, the hero who couldn't save himself. All right. Your boy CIP chose this for a reason. The theme remains the same. Sacrificing yourself for others without understanding who you truly are. Truly loving yourself, right? We need to do that. And speaking to the men, we're gonna talk more about that here with the next Black Home Math. We're gonna talk all about us, guys. Anyway, just a shameless plug for that. Anyway, while you're here, everybody, Mark Harris, what's up, bro? G Honda, don't say nothing about the Browns losing to the Steelers. I don't want to hear it. Tonight is not the night. Tonight is not the night. Don't start that. What's up, Mark, bro? Good to see you. Good to see you. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Subscribe, you guys. I got all kinds of content, right? We got Black Home Math. Your boy is part Caribbean, so we got Soca Sundays. You'll find all kinds of cultural influences in all of the content that I create. And I've also started a travel channel, Cruise with CIP, Cruise with Culture. So go over there and subscribe at Cruise with CIP. Go subscribe to that channel as well. Gentlemen, we're going to be talking about how to pack, what to bring on certain trips, behaviors, just all the different facets of healthy, classy travel for gents. And I'm going to dump some other things over there as well. I'm going to dump some health tips. Going to have probably, as I always do, special guests who are also going to talk about the same kind of topics. So go subscribe to Cruise with Culture, y'all. Cruise and travel. It's going to be a nice new adventure for your boy, right? All about loving himself. So we are here this evening with our homie Lessons of, and we're going to talk about the journey of Finn the human, all right? I'm a human, Finn a human, you a human. Let's go.
Finn the Human saved kingdoms, fought evil wizards, and even defeated the cosmic embodiment of evil. But for all the lives he saved, there was always one he struggled with the most.
There it is.
His own. He was a child hero born into a broken world, praised.
Miss April, how are you, sis? How are things your way? Tonight we are talking about being the hero, saving everyone when you haven't saved yourself, and loving yourself. We had a little bit of a discussion from a psychotherapist earlier, Brother Elliot Connie, and we are now breaking into some little bit deeper, actually. We're going to talk about the different facets of an animated character, how adults wrote his story to reflect our own journeys. Some good stuff here, y'all. So let's go.
For his courage, but crushed by loneliness, heartbreak, and loss. He lost his arm. He lost his loves. He even lost himself. Because no one tells you this part, saving the world doesn't fix you, and being brave for others doesn't teach you how to be kind to yourself. This is the story of the boy who became a hero, and the hero who learned to save himself even when he started as a baby covered in his own poop. Alright, when Finn was just a newborn abandoned in the woods, he made his very first boom boom. He cried, he screamed, but no one came. Not for a very long time. And that moment stuck with him. So when he was finally rescued by Jake's parents, he made a promise.
That day, I vowed to help anyone in need, no matter how small their problem.
See, what did CIP say? Jake did the same thing. Finn did the same thing. He turned around and said, because of his childhood trauma, that he will help anybody who he finds in the same kinds of positions. Just like your boy CIP was doing.
That's where it starts.
That's where it starts.
His whole identity as a hero, as a fixer, is a
Fixer.
reaction to that helpless moment.
C.I.P.
He
the
never
fixer.
wants anyone else to feel how weak, vulnerable, and alone he felt. But what happens when that instinct becomes a mask? What happens when saving others becomes a way to ignore
Hell yeah,
your
Reaper.
own hurt? In Ocean of Fear, we see the first crack in Finn's persona of the frightless hero. Finn is terrified of the ocean. He doesn't know why, and he just freezes up. That terrifies him even more. Because what does it mean if a hero can't even act in the moment when it's necessary? He tries to play it cool, says he
You ever had to have a confrontation with somebody and you get that pit in your stomach? You just don't want to deal with this human, but you have to get it done. And you have to swallow all that pride. You have to swallow back that fear, that anxiety. Your palms start sweating maybe a little bit right before you got to talk to him. It could be your tax lawyer, right? It's got a big tax debt at the beginning of the year. It could be anything, right? Think about this from the perspective of your adulthood. Not just like I said, wipe it all out of your mind. It's just a cart. This was written by some very, very, very good authors, right? So look at this from adult perspective, not just a kid afraid, but look at this from the things that you've encountered.
terrifies him even more. Because what does it mean if a hero can't even
Cuzzo.
act in the moment when it's necessary? He
Good to
tries
see you,
to play
Cuzzo.
it cool, says
Kofa?
he just needs to
What's
take
good,
off his
bro?
shoes first before entering the ocean, but under all of it is a fear so deep, it has its own voice. The Fear Feaster, a creature that lives inside of him and calls him a coward. And in this instance, it's sort of right. But when Jake is drowning, Finn doesn't run. Instead, he just knocks himself out to deal with the fear and ends up saving Jake. That's the moment. Not when the fear disappears, but when Finn chooses to act the hero anyway.
I'm proud of you, man. You did it.
Thanks, dude.
That's what makes him brave. Not that he's
Derek
fearless or
Gaines.
anything, but
What's
that
good,
he
brother?
feels everything and still shows up. But fear is only the first feeling he'll have to face. Soon it's heartbreak, loneliness, regret, and he can't punch his way or knock himself out of the way of those. If fear taught him to feel, his hero teaches him to think. After all, punching bad guys is easy. That's what Finn is really good at. But then he meets Billy, the greatest hero in Ooze history, and Billy tells him something that kinda breaks his brain.
All my life I've beaten on evil creatures, but new evil keep popping up.
Finn is crushed. The guy he's tried to become, the guy who's his hero, his idol, doesn't even believe in punching evil anymore. So he tries it Billy's way. Non-violence, good deeds, kind words, and it's a disaster. Sometimes
Yeah, you know what? 12, it's not my era either. But I got trapped in the house, right? It was a medical, you're on medical recovery. And someone said, "Hey, what are you watching?" And I said, "I'm watching some Japanese anime. I watch Ghost in the Shell." So I watched all of Ghost in the Shell, every series. For those that know, every single series leading up to the new CGI series. Watched everything in order. I got them all in order. Then I started going over to watch the 200 and some episodes of this show. So it was just one of those things where I was like, you know what? Let me get into this and see what it's about. Very good show. And then when I found our buddy Lessons Of, that we're reacting to today, had done an analysis from an adult perspective, I was like, here we go. Here we go. Now we got something to talk about.
Ooh is too messed up to talk down. Sometimes the villain doesn't want to change and needs to be punched. And when things finally go too far, Finn drops the act and fights. Not because he wants glory. After all, he's only practicing non-violence because he thinks his hero thinks it's the most honorable and heroic thing to do. And that moment, it's what brings Billy back around too. Because being a hero isn't about being a pacifist or a fighter. It's about knowing when someone needs a hand and when they need a sword.
Finn and Jake,
It's
truly,
knowing the difference.
You are my heroes.
But the sword part is easy for Finn. What's harder is that Finn doesn't know the answer to one simple question. Who am I? And it takes a long while to find that answer.
Here's your
First,
boy
in
C.I.P.
Mortal Folly and Mortal Recoil, Finn faces his biggest threat so far, and it's come for Bubblegum. When she's possessed, Finn fights harder than ever, not to save a kingdom, but to save her. He throws everything he has at this thing, and he wins, technically. The sweater full of love from PB saves him from the Lich's flames and later destroys his skull. but PB ends up broken. The cost of saving her was almost losing her, and in that moment, something shifts. Being a hero doesn't feel epic anymore. It feels fragile.
It
Finn's
does.
fight isn't just about helping, it's about holding on, and he's not ready to let go, which makes what happens next so much worse.
We're going to pause right there for one quick second. I just want to send a shout out to tonight's show sponsor, FDNHT Trend, because, I really, really appreciate you. I got to say, man, yeah, taking a little bit of a break. I needed to recharge, but we back.
More money, yeah. More money, more dollar bill. More money, yeah, yeah. More dollar bill. More money, yeah. More money, more dollar bill.
Show producer, FDNHT Trend, because, I appreciate you.
After nearly losing Bubblegum, Finn clings tighter. And then, for a moment, it finally happens. PB de-ages back to 13. Suddenly, the princess that he always loved actually loves him back. They laugh together, prank together, and they seemingly just click together like it was destined to be. For once, Finn isn't just the hero. He's the boy who gets the girl, but it doesn't last.
Growth.
She turns into her adult form again.
More
and
growth.
Just like that, it's over.
Do you want to hug some more?
Finn, you silly. You really gotta move on.
You got
And Finn is
curved.
left with nothing but a lock of her hair and the hollow silence of the Candy Kingdom throne.
So now he's got to grow from this moment.
This is his first real heartbreak, and there's no monster to fight, no evil to stop. There's no one to save, just a feeling he can't punch his way out of. And that's the moment we start to realize being a hero doesn't protect you from pain.
There it is.
Sometimes it just distracts you from it. After heartbreak, Finn throws himself back into what he knows, saving the day, stopping the bad guy, being the hero. And nobody makes that easier than Ice King, the creepy, lonely wizard who's always kidnapping princesses. A villain, plain and simple. Until Finn finds the tapes. In Holly Jolly Secrets, Finn uncovers Ice King's old video diaries. What starts out as a funny invasion of privacy becomes something darker and sadder. Because the Ice King wasn't always like this. He was Simon, a kind man, a human. Someone who only wore the magic crown to protect the world and what was important to him, and who lost his mind in the process. Finn watches horrified as Simon forgets his fiancée, forgets his name, forgets himself. And suddenly, the villain isn't a monster anymore. He's just a man who couldn't save himself. It changes the way that Finn sees evil even more than Billy previously did. From here on, his fights with Ice King are different. Less angry, more patient. Because maybe being a hero isn't just about stopping evil. Sometimes it's about understanding it. Understanding the darkness.
Finn got game,
understanding
watch.
the brokenness.
Finn's like your boy
Especially when
C.I.P.
you
He got
start to
game.
feel broken too. After being confused with Princess Bubblegum when she turned 18 again, Finn doesn't talk about it much. With Jake's advice, he's trying to pretend everything could still work out with her. He just has to try harder, right? But when that doesn't work, Finn starts melting down. He sobs on the ground, clinging onto the lock of PB's hair like it's the last piece of his soul. So Jake, yet again, does what any magical talking dog
Bro's crashing out, so his homeboy's gonna hook him up with the rebound.
would do. He tries to find Finn to rebound. Enter Flame Princess. Fiery,
I think I dated a flame princess or two.
explosive, literally unstable.
There we go.
But when
Literally
Finn sees
unstable.
Her, something happens. Not obsession or fantasy, just a spark. And suddenly, the idea of being loved back doesn't feel impossible anymore. He's not cured. This
Brothers, tell me who hasn't dated a flame princess.
isn't a fix, but it's a moment, a flicker of hope.
He's
After
hoping.
all the loss, after the fear and the heartbreak, Finn starts to realize maybe he can feel something again. With Flame Princess, Finn steps into new territory. Not fantasizing about someone who's out of his reach, not chasing them and always being somewhat behind, but real feelings with someone in the moment who feels them back. It's exciting, terrifying, and confusing as hell. Because love isn't just sparks and smooches, it's boundaries, honesty, emotional control, things that Finn is still figuring out. He fumbles.
It's emotional control, but he's dating a flame princess. She ain't emotionally in control at all.
He learns. He almost loses her and wins her back by choosing kindness over ego. And in those moments, we see something rare. Finn isn't just trying to be a hero, he's trying to be a person. He's trying to be a partner, a better person. If you want a deeper dive into this whole arc, from tier 15 to emotional maturity, we've got a full breakdown in a separate video, so go check that one out. But by now, Finn's fought monsters, chased love, and stared down death itself. Like anyone fighting such big battles at that age, he's confident, capable, and growing. So when his hero Billy returns and says there's a way to stop all evil forever, Finn believes him. Why wouldn't he? Billy was his blueprint for heroism after all, but it's not Billy. It's actually the Lich, wearing
Here we go with betrayal.
Billy's skin, using Finn's trust like a weapon. And that's the moment the world flips. Everything Finn believed in, his quest, his loyalty, his purpose, was hijacked by evil. He didn't just fail to save the day, he helped doom it. And that's how the early stages of his story ends. So far, Finn has saved everyone. Villagers, kingdoms, princesses, even the Ice King. Again and again, he shows up when people need him. But under all the victories, under the sword swings and the catchphrases, there's something he hasn't saved. There's something he hasn't even touched. Himself. The boy who cried alone in the woods. The kid who didn't know who he was and still kinda doesn't.
There it is.
The teenager holding on to people just to feel whole. And the scariest part? No one can save him from that. He has to do it himself. That's where we're heading next. Not towards bigger, stronger monsters, but towards heartbreak, identity, and regret. In Frost and Fire, he's dating Flame Princess. Things are great. Until he sees her fighting Ice King. It's intense, fiery, emotional. And Finn? He kinda likes it. He starts chasing that feeling. Sends fake messages to provoke another fight.
Bro gaslights his girlfriend. He gaslights his girlfriend. See, I told you, look at this with adult eyes. Bro gaslights his girlfriend into battling the Ice King.
To feed his own thrill. And
regret.
When it all comes
He gonna
out,
regret
when
this.
Flame Princess realized that she was manipulated, she leaves. Not confused about it, not heartbroken in the moments or anything like that.
She done.
Just done. Like, you manipulated me? Nuh-uh. And for the first time, Finn can't pretend that he was just trying to help. He directly caused this.
Bro.
He hurt someone he loved for his own benefit. And the worst part? The Cosmic Owl visits his dreams and tells him flat out,
You blew it.
Which actually brings us to
What's up,
today's
Earl?
Sponsor. Manta Sleep. Summer is here.
All right, we're going to skip the sponsor. As always, your boy C.I.P. does that. But what we are going to do, we are going to drop the link. What's up, Earl? How you doing, bro? Yeah, she be all right. She be all right. She the Flame Princess. Should be all right. She got bros lined up. All right, y'all. I dropped the link again for our homie Lessons of. Go check him out. He's subscribing this awesome sleep mask. If you guys need a sleep mask, go grab a sleep mask. He's got a link in the description. I'm sure something. There it is. Manta Sleep, $99. All right. Well, ad break over. Let's go.
Mask. So after Flame Princess leaves, he doesn't process it. He just defaults back to the girl who first broke his heart. But things aren't like that.
Bro, you can't spin the block. So there we go, gents. Again, some adult maneuvers. He spins the block to go back to Bubblegum, thinking that, oh man, I fucked up with Fire Princess. So now he's gonna go try, bro.
Mask. So after Flame Princess leaves, he doesn't process it. He just defaults back to the girl who first broke his heart. But things aren't like they were.
She's like, nah, no cookies for you.
He's older now, wiser, more distant. Even when Finn tries to charm her, to flirt, to impress her with his growth, none of it lands. Because he hasn't really grown. Not in the way that matters. He's still chasing connection to escape pain, still trying to plug one heartbreak with another. And PB sees that. She doesn't scold him, she just doesn't engage. And that silence hits harder than any rejection. It's the first time Finn realizes that you can't go backward just because forward hurts.
There it is.
But I think I learned something.
You can't go backwards because forward hurts. You just said it. There it is, Reaper. Absolutely. You can't go backwards because forward hurts. It's a little bit difficult to find the next lady to talk to. That's fine. It's going to be a better adventure. You're going to be smarter. Don't go back spinning that block. All right, let me pin that. Good advice, Missy. Thank you, ma'am. All right, so I did just drop the travel channel in the chat. It is now pinned at the top. I need you guys to go subscribe to my channel, travel channel, and show your boy some love. I'm going to be talking about all facets of travel, planning for trips, places to go, road trips, all the things, cruises, definitely cruises. So go check out your boy C.I.P. Subscribe over there. Be sure to ring the bell because content will be starting to ramp up over there and you're going to want to catch it all, y'all. You're going to want to catch it all. It's going to be some good stuff. All right.
And that
together.
silence hits
You still
harder
working
than
out,
any
sis?
rejection. It's the first time Finn realizes that you can't go backward just because forward hurts.
But I think I learned something.
You can't force closeness with someone who's already moved on. He came looking for love, but what
Thanks,
he
Mark.
found was immaturity, his own. And that was the biggest step towards saving himself, that understanding. More realizations follow shortly after. Most of his life, Finn carried pain that he couldn't explain. A fear of water, a pit in his chest, a feeling like something was missing. In the vault, that feeling takes shape. A haunting vision of a ghost lady leads Finn to uncover memories that he never knew he had. Not from this life, but from a past one.
Uh-oh.
Shoko, a thief with one arm, trying to get by and survive, ending up dying alone after a plunge into a moat of poison. She was him, and he was her. Suddenly, Finn's fears aren't random. They're echoes, residue from lives he's never lived, but still sort of remembers. He gives Shoko peace. But some...
That's kind of crazy to think about the fact that your fears are actually just lives you never lived. All you got to do is confront it. There you go.
Something lingers.
Just never
A deeper
experienced
truth,
it.
that not everything you carry is yours. And healing isn't just about what you feel, it's about what you inherit and about what others put onto you. And Finn is about to inherit something else.
And see, there's another piece too. We inherit generational traumas. You got to look at this from adult perspectives, y'all. We inherit generational traumas.
That not everything you carry is yours. And healing isn't just about what you feel, it's about what you inherit and about what others put onto you. And Finn is about to inherit something else, something that cuts even deeper than memory. Up until now, Finn's spent his whole life not knowing where he came from, why he was abandoned, and who his parents are.
Yep.
He's made his peace with it, or at least he thinks he has, until he finds Billy's bucket list. A list with all the things that Billy still had wanted to do before he died, including take Canyon on one last ride, tell Finn that thing, and lie on my back in the ocean. Just float. Finn decided he can't do anything other than complete that list for his hero Billy, even if it means he has to face his biggest fear, the ocean. And he overcomes it. Kinda. The grass sword takes care of the fear feaster. It feels like a turning point. He's conquered fear, found purpose.
I'm not afraid of the ocean anymore. I'm doing it, Billy.
And at last, Billy completes his bucket list post-mortem by...
That was your boy C.I.P. on vacation. Let's go. I was floating in the ocean. It's awesome. Awesome.
by telling Finn that one thing.
Oh, you must go to the Citadel. That's where your father is.
And it's not just Joshua he's talking about, it's his own human father.
Shit. Shit. Finn the human finds his human father and attempts closure. Let's examine what our boy goes through here.
Your father, Finn, he's alive.
Just like that, the floor drops out.
Yes, Mercy, a break is necessary.
There's someone out there, someone who shares his blood, a living connection to the part of himself he's never understood. But the truth waiting for him on the other side isn't what he expects. It's worse.
Here we go.
When he finally meets his father, there's no embrace, no apology, just a smirking, selfish drifter named Martin who barely remembers his name.
Wow, let's rewind that. No embrace. Nothing.
When he finally meets his father, there's no embrace, no apology, just a smirking, selfish drifter named Martin.
How many of us have seen that in the eyes of our fathers, gents?
All of Finn's hope turns to disbelief. This isn't a lost hero, this is a cartoonized version of Forrest Gump. A man who just ran and is about to run again. So Finn chases him, not willing to let go of his one chance to get answers.
This
or
is sad.
Family. He holds on so hard. He holds on so tightly, not willing to let go, that something snaps. The grass sword, bound to Finn's arm, reacts violently. And just like that, his arm is gone. His father escapes through a portal, and Finn is left alone.
That right there is the cartoon version of heartbreak and holding on to something that will never be. And in the end, sacrificing a part of yourself. For your boy C.I.P., there was an albatross on my back, as mentioned at the beginning. The albatross of being the antithesis of my father. The albatross of not being a man like my father. And this right here.
So Finn chases him, not willing to let go of his one chance to get answers or a family.
The heartbreak.
He holds on so hard. He holds on so tightly, not willing to let go, that something...
The piece of C.I.P., that albatross that I had lived up to for 35 years, tore me apart. There it is.
Snaps. The grass sword, bound to Finn's arm, reacts violently.
Have a good night, brother. Thank you for being here.
And just like
Team
that,
replay.
his arm is gone. His father escapes through a portal, and Finn is left alone. This isn't just loss. This is abandonment, done all over again.
Yep.
And it cuts deeper than any sword.
That's exactly it. It's abandonment. You gotta look at this through adult eyes, y'all.
His father escapes through a portal, and Finn is left alone. This isn't just loss. This is abandonment, done all over again. And it cuts deeper than any sword.
35
For
years
the
of
first
it.
time, Finn doesn't just lose someone he loves, he loses a part of himself, part of his dreams, part of his hopes.
Yep.
In the tower, Finn tries to fix it all, not with healing or acceptance, but with revenge. He builds a tower.
Now, our boy Finn's gonna go through a crash out. CIP took a mental break, right? I'm a little bit further up the emotional maturity scale than our boy Finn. He's still discovering things, but I think a lot of us go through this, that anger. I know I did when I was younger, when I was in my teens. I remember being angry. Now as an adult, it's a realization. It's pain. It's pain. It's different pain, right? But then there's the realization behind it and taking accountability for interacting and thinking that things would tilt a little bit differently. But again, the Martin, his dad, in my life, my dad, was unreceptive. So instead of it manifesting itself into a crash out, it manifested into some insightful thought and a recalibration of who I am as culture. So let's go.
Or into space, piece by piece.
Our boy's going all the way to space, just to punch him in his face.
But with revenge.
Do it.
He builds a tower into space, piece by piece, just to punch his dad in the face. And the higher he climbs, the more he unravels. He sings to himself. He fantasizes. He imagines Martin's presence in the stars.
Crash out.
This isn't bravery, it's weaponized grief, and he's hurting himself because of it. And when he finally lets go after beating PB disguised as Martin, he doesn't look like a hero. He looks like a kid who lost everything and doesn't know what to do next except lash out at the world. Because sometimes rage can feel like strength.
Let's pause that for a minute, gents. Mine was forgiving my father, C.I.P. We'll get there, Mark. We'll get there. I have a problem with parents in general. You have a whole 9 months to think about it. You have your whole life to think about biology, and then 9 months once you know you've made a decision. And it never seems to kick in for some. That's where I'm losing grace, right? Your boy CIP's lost a lot of grace with society, but when it comes to these parents, it's just a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. Life is fun, but there are certain actions from that fun that we have to recalibrate and think about. And we didn't ask to be here. I said that before, and I just can't get. I didn't ask to be here. I appreciate the adventure for what it's worth. It hasn't worked in my favor in many facets, and that is the Finn part of me, right? Learning. But along with that, it'll take time. I have to say it'll take time. Yeah. Good one. Actually, very, very good. Good point. But as we see,
lash out at the world.
The anger, lashing out. There's a lot of men who exist in that their entire lives. We know them. We know them. One of them is a member of my nuclear family. Anger is the first response. It's low-level thinking, HoMath, Black HoMath. It's low-level thinking to remain angry, right? There has to be growth out of that. And I've tried to be the hero and help individuals understand within themselves that they have to operate outside of that. But that ended in disappointment because your boy CIP watched them continue to spiral and exist in that for years. So it's curious that individuals aren't willing to break that, but it's there. It's there.
Because sometimes
here it is again.
Rage can feel like strength.
It feels like strength to them,
it's just
right?
pain in disguise. And pain like that.
Yeah, it's absolute pain. It's absolute pain. And it was for me when I was young. I was 16. I remember going off my father for the first time because he was unwilling to travel and visit us as children. You never had the grown conversation. And in my case, my father never bothered to understand. And even though while now he's alive, we can converse, his stubbornness to remain a tether and not understand American sensibilities or sensibilities of anyone, his own personal stubbornness, his own, you can take the man off the island, but you can't take the island out of the man, and his own behaviors limit him. And in actual pity, I pity him. You know, I think it's more of a pity, and I feel sad for him because he's losing out on an understanding that his son is actually the better version, and that I've accomplished a great deal, and that his children have value in their own ways. But that self-centered narcissism and, you know, not being able to leave the island mannerisms, it's got him locked. So that forgiveness may never come from a conversation, may come from an understanding thing at some point. But yeah.
It doesn't go away. It sinks until you can't feel anything at all.
Apathy.
After losing it all in the tower.
Apathy in society. The apathy. You don't address the pain. You have that anger behind it, right? You have that resentment behind it. Just turns to apathy. Fuck it, right? The fuck it. We know plenty of people who just say the fuck it, right? If Finn's going through, fuck it. Watch.
Weaponized grief, and he's hurting himself because of it. And when he finally lets go after beating PB disguised as Martin, he doesn't look like a hero.
And PB disguised as Martin. So basically his friends tried to help him out of his crash out, right? So his old spin the block said, you know what? I'm going to step up and I'm going to help, bro. That's what happened.
Looks like a kid who lost everything and doesn't know what to do next except lash out at the world. Because sometimes rage can feel like strength, but it's just pain in disguise. And pain like that doesn't go away. It sinks until you can't feel anything at all.
There it is.
After losing it all in the tower, Finn doesn't get angry anymore. He gets numb. In Breezy, he's not chasing love. He's not saving kingdoms. He's just drifting, kissing random princesses at wizard raves.
That's your boy C.I.P. on his birthday. Kissing random princesses at
In
his
Breezy,
rave.
he's not chasing love. He's not saving
Just kidding. But still,
kingdoms.
yeah.
He's
Let's
just
go.
drifting, kissing random princesses at wizard raves, following a talking bee through flowers and chaos just to feel something. Jake notices. He even points it out.
Guess you're still hung up on both of them, bro.
I ain't hung up on nobody. Nobody.
That's right. C.I.P. ain't hung up on nobody. That's right. Tell him.
Just to feel something.
Tell him, Finn.
Jake notices. He even points it out.
Guess you're still hung up on both of them, bro.
I ain't hung up on nobody. Nobody.
But Finn doesn't want to admit it. Because the truth is, somewhere inside he knows Jake is right. And yet, through all that emotional turmoil, someone still cares. Breezy, the bee with a crush, starts singing for Finn, making something shift. Finn feels warmth again, and
Breezy starts singing for Finn. Someone's pouring into Finn. Isn't that amazing? He stunted his growth. You're absolutely correct, Mark. Growth was stunted. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. And I think some understanding for myself can come from that. His brother, his oldest brother, explained some things. And there's some thought that I need to put into my feelings, right? Thought I need to put into my growth. And you're absolutely right. There's that facet of it. Now, B, the little bee. The bee is now singing for our homie, investing in him, pouring into him, someone who genuinely cares about him and is participating in his recovery.
somewhere inside he knows Jake is right.
Let's
And yet,
watch what
through
happens.
all that emotional turmoil, someone still cares.
Now again, Finn is player. So Finn always has the attention of the ladies. All right, shout out Finn. So let's see what B gonna talk about.
Breezy, the bee with a crush, starts
Breezy?
singing for Finn, making something shift. Finn feels warmth again, and miraculously, his arm grows back. Not because he fought, but because for once, he let someone love him without needing to earn it. And that kind of love might be the only thing strong enough to bring him back. Breezy marked a turning point for Finn where he had hit rock bottom, and then he just manages to crawl out of it. We see the immediate effect in The Visitor, where Finn sees Martin again. Not as a hero, not as a changed man.
Oh,
He's just
no. Here comes Martin. So he has another interaction with his father. But he's healed by Breezy. Breezy's helped him. She's brought him out of this. For your boy CIP brought himself out of it, and CIP realized that the albatross of trying to be better than was too much of a challenge for the modern world where we're at. CIP had to discover what made him happy, right? CIP had to rediscover who he was now as a man, the same way our homeboy Finn went through his arc. That reaction says everything. Finn still cares. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's good, JP? All my hoes demonetized. What's good, bro? Good to see you.
the same. Same smile, same selfishness, same trail of damage.
Is everything you say a lie?
No, of course not.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
Is there any way I can tell the difference?
Finn could
Nah, there's no way you can tell the difference, bro. It just is the challenge of our lives. So let's backtrack a little bit here.
Same smile, same selfishness, same trail of damage.
There it is.
Is everything you say a lie?
And again, damage, right? Let's not forget generational traumas. Finn is facing the previous generation.
No, of course not.
Well, is there any way I can tell the difference?
Finn could have hoped again, could have begged again, but he doesn't. This time, he watches and accepts the truth. His dad is never going to be what he needed. So, when Martin tries to leave, Finn doesn't scream or chase. He even pulls the lever to send his dad off flying into space. But he doesn't.
There it is. There it is. To send the albatross that your boy C.I.P. had on his back to outer space, I had to release it. Just let it go. Stop trying to force being better than. You already are. I've already broken the generational curse. There is no reason for me to want to continue to fight for that affection, fight for that recognition, fight for that doesn't exist. Release it. Let that man rocket off into space. Let that man move on, transition. He'll be called home. It is what it is. The life here on earth that I have is now mine, right? The life you have here on earth now is yours, right? We don't have to be bound to these ties, these generational curses any longer.
Not as a hero, not as a changed man, he's just the same. Same smile, same selfishness, same trail of damage.
Is everything you say a lie?
No, of course not.
Well, is there any way I can tell the difference?
No.
Finn could have hoped again, could
Let
have
it go.
begged again, but he doesn't. This time, he watches and accepts the truth. His dad is never going to be what he needed. So, when Martin tries to leave, Finn doesn't scream or chase. He even pulls the lever to send his dad off flying into space. And that way that he let go, that's growth. Because for once, Finn isn't trying to fix someone. He's setting a boundary. Something he learned that exists after falling out with.
And there it is. I set a boundary. For my birthday, I didn't take any calls from anyone in my family. I set a boundary. I didn't need to hear not just a happy birthday, but a combination of their stressors and flaws and issues and masks that they wear when they present themselves to me as my family. I didn't need any of that. I've already grown past that. I've seen what it is. I've known you my whole life. And this is where we need to set these boundaries. Our families are the first ones to fuck us, right? Our families are the first ones to mess us up. We didn't ask to be here. 90% of the time, they're not looking out for us the right way. They're the ones that we need to practice this with so that we can be who we truly are to the rest of the world and be able to embrace all the rest of the adventures and have the tools necessary, right? A lot of us as adults may not change and may not find the time and bandwidth in our lives to do this, but for the younger ones and the ones that have time, stop now and start recalibrating. Start thinking about these boundaries for yourself. Protect yourself. Be the better version of you, right? And men, better version of you. We're going to talk about, I'm telling you, this is the second time I mentioned this. Like and subscribe over here, gentlemen, especially because the next Black Hole Math is about you, and I mean you. All right, we're going to talk. We're going to have a good time with that. John, my dude, my brother, how are you this evening, sir? It's good to see you, man. You get a Riz as a homie. I just big up you, homie. Just good to see you, man. We're talking about the emotional growth of individuals, how things impact us, and the timing in our lives, right? Everybody's not going to learn everything. Everybody's not going to be receptive to everything at the same pace and time in our lives, but we all have similar journeys. And today we talk about the journey of the hero, right? Those of us who sacrifice and give a little bit too much without recognition and love for ourselves. So now our hero has had his life poured into by a princess who helped him. She enabled him with the tools of feeling love for himself. And when he rekindled the relationship with his dad, he was able to release it and just released all that pain and put up a boundary and proceed through life as an older Finn. Let's go. I'm going to drop it back a little bit here. Back to the dad trauma. Why are we highlighting this? Your boy C.I.P. may or may not have parallels to our hero Finn. Let's go.
Not as a changed man, he's just the same. Same smile, same selfishness, same trail of damage.
Send him to
Is everything you
space.
say a lie?
No, of course not.
Well, is there any way I can tell the difference?
Finn could have hoped again, could have begged again, but he doesn't. This
Peace,
time,
Pops.
he watches and accepts the truth. His dad is never going to be what he needed.
Nope.
So, when Martin tries to leave, Finn doesn't scream or chase. He even pulls the lever to send his dad off flying into space. And that way that he let go, that's growth. Because for once, Finn isn't trying to fix someone. He's setting a boundary.
There it is.
Something he learned that exists after falling out with Flame Princess.
And what did we learn from our brother earlier? Trying to fix someone, trying to be the hero for someone is control. You can't control others. You can't control others.
And as Martin disappears into the sky, Finn makes a quiet promise. How he'll never be like his dad and
There
that
it
he'll
is.
keep being a hero.
There it is.
From here on out, that's exactly what he tries to do. He stops always chasing answers and starts building something of his own.
There it is.
To do so, he goes on an introspective journey in the mountain where
There's
he's
your boy,
confronted with his
C.I.P..
3 paths.
It's your boy C.I.P. That's me. There we are. We had just reached the C.I.P. arc of the story. That's right. Let's go.
And that way that he let go, that's growth. Because for once, Finn isn't trying to fix someone. He's setting a boundary.
Yep.
Something he learned that exists after falling out with Flame Princess. And as Martin disappears into the sky, Finn makes a quiet promise. How he'll never be like his dad and that he'll keep being a hero. From here on out, that's exactly what he tries to do. He stops always chasing answers and starts building something of his own. To do so, he goes on an introspective journey in the mountain where he's confronted with his 3 paths. One path shows Flame Princess, representing Finn's desire for love. One path shows Jake and Bimo, representing Finn's desire for friendship and family. The final path shows a butterfly, one of Finn's past lives, which is
The third one shows a Virgin cruise ship.
also a symbol of change. And for the first time, Finn doesn't choose comfortable love or safety. He chooses transformation.
He chooses to jump on a Virgin cruise ship.
No reward, no closure, just moving forward.
There we go.
He doesn't know what's waiting, and that's the point.
There it is.
After everything he's lost, Finn finally stops running from the pain, just like he did with Martin. From here on, it's about finding something. Not a villain, not a treasure chest, not a quest, not a princess, but himself.
There it
Because
is.
after spending so long saving others, and so long avoiding his own pain, he's finally ready to ask the question, who am I when no one needs me? This question leads him to the Catalyst Comet, a cosmic force that returns every 1,000 years, and it's offering a way out.
Come with me to the end, in the beginning, or struggle here a while like a beautiful autumn leaf.
And for just a little, Finn listens. Because after all the heartbreak, the loss, the questions, it sounds tempting. No pain, no fear, no mistakes, just transcendence. But Finn doesn't take it.
I feel like I put a lot of work into this meat reality. I'd like to see it through.
Because he's not finished being human. He's not perfect. He's not healed. But he knows now. Being alive means feeling everything.
There it
the
is.
joy, the heartbreak, the weird stuff in between.
It absolutely is, everybody. It's experiencing all of those feelings and being accountable for them on the other side. Understanding why you got your heart broken. Understanding the fun that you've had and to be able to relate to it and not miss it, but embrace it and not abuse it and think that life is just fun, right? proportions, right? All of these things we experience, we should learn from. They should all be a part of who we are as we evolve. C.I.P. is never short of talking about evolution. That is all part of this journey, the pain that goes along with those steps, you guys. It's normal.
And he chooses it. That's not just maturity, that's identity.
There it is.
And while his father does take up the offer of the comet, Finn floats on back home. Still unsure of who he is, but definitely sure of who he's not.
Yeah.
He still has lingering questions, which is when the Hall of Egress appears. And look, that episode isn't just something to rush through in just a few minutes. That would be insulting. So we won't. Instead, we'll give the Hall of Egress the full video it deserves later. If you want that, let us know in the comments, because there is definitely so much to say about it. But for now, just know this. In that hall, Finn stops being the boy who charges through life with his eyes wide open and becomes someone who can move forward even when he can't see what's ahead. And that's what real growth looks like.
Absolutely. Not knowing what's ahead in life and not being afraid of it. That's growth. Being accountable for the decisions that you face. Leaving your backyard and traveling. By the way, I started a travel channel. I'd like everybody to go subscribe to it. It is pinned at the top of the chat. That's right. Your boy C.I.P. is traveling and exploring the unknown. If by ship, if by plane, if by car. We are doing it all. Go subscribe to that channel, y'all. Link is pinned in the chat. And if you're new here, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Do the same at the travel channel as well. You'll see Nightbot talking in the chat. Talk back to Nightbot. Click the links. Discord. We got a gaming channel. Your boy C.I.P. stays busy. All right. I got a lot of hobbies. This shit's getting wild over here. So please subscribe to all the channels, and your boy C.I.P. will love you for it, and I will show you a good time over here, y'all. All right. So back to our story, because this growth thing. A lot of us need to be thinking about this. And I think it's a really good angle from the Adventure Time side of things, y'all. From the Adventure Time side of things, the growth. We're not done yet, y'all. It's an insomnia kind of night. Thank you so much for being here. Let's continue.
Not a sword, not a win, just a quiet step forward that no one else sees.
There it is. And that's the thing. I'm sharing my step forward with you guys because your boy C.I.P. don't got kids. So I'm here to teach y'all. I'm here to spend time with y'all, have these discussions with y'all, the invaders, right? Share what I experience so that we can share this with the rest of the world. We're not alone in these journeys, y'all. There are so many things ahead of us that we don't expect and don't have tools to know what to do when we confront them. Let's explore this together. That's why we're here. All right, let's go back.
So much to say about it. But for now, just know this. In that hall, Finn stops being the boy who charges through life with his eyes wide open and becomes someone who can move forward even when he can't see what's ahead. And that's what real growth looks like.
Hell yeah.
Not a sword, not a win, just a quiet step forward that no one else sees.
Hell yeah.
There is yet one more regret he has to face. Flame Princess. They've both...
You know, like I said, I had a flame princess. And she's now my best friend. And let's talk about how Finn fixed his relationship with his flame princess. My best
stops
friend.
Being the boy who charges through life with his eyes wide open
and
becomes someone who can move forward even when he can't see what's ahead. And that's what real growth looks like. Not a sword, not a win, just a quiet step forward that no one else sees.
There it is.
There is yet one more regret he has to face. Flame Princess. They've both grown since the breakup. Time passed, wounds healed. But until now, they've kept their distance.
I'm telling you. And Finn's flame princess is older than him. My flame princess was older than me. I'm telling you. Yeah, your boy C.I.P. and Finn, we got it. We homies. We homies.
And in Bun Bun, fate puts them side by side yet again. Not in a romantic moment, but in a delivery of a new candy person for Cinnamon Bun in the Fire Kingdom. And somehow, Finn and FP reconnect. Not because the sparks return, but because they don't need to. Finn doesn't try to win her back. Flame Princess doesn't put up her guard. They just talk like two people.
There it is.
And in that simple honesty, we finally get what they didn't know they needed. Closure.
When we broke up, I said sorry, but I didn't fully understand exactly what I did wrong.
Finn apologizes.
That was a really, really messed up thing to do, and I'm truly sorry.
Sincerely, not to fix the past, but to acknowledge it.
Absolutely.
To recognize that who he was in the past isn't who he wants to be in the future.
Absolutely. And that's how I earned credibility with Flame Princess, my homie, my bestie, because I acknowledged the bullshit we had in our past. I was like, yo, I made my mistakes. You made your mistakes. I made my mistakes. I made my mistakes. You a homie. I'm a homie. We homies. We homies. Peace. Talk to you in a few years, nigga. That was it. And then we cool. And it's cool. And you build from that. But that relationship and the relationship with other individuals that I've dated in my past, right? We could talk about the romance side of things, where course correction and growth was required. Relationships from my 20s. I'm still friends with those individuals because acknowledgement, because of accountability. They're not waiting in the winds. I'm not waiting in the winds for them. These are individuals who just became friends. We grew. We understood. She off dating her people or not interested or doing whatever, or the other one got a kid or this or whatever. But it's cool because you grow from that, right? And those were key points in your boy C.I.P's romance life. After that, it was all fun and games. But after, the beginnings, there was some growth that needed to happen.
And Flame
He
Princess
said you ain't friends with no
forgives
trash. Nah, man.
It's
never no
quiet,
friends with no trash
uneventful
box.
on the surface, but it's a huge
Never
moment
trash.
of emotional maturity.
Only
Because
only
sometimes
people
the
that can lift you up. You never make friends with trash box. Never. Only friends with those that take accountability and build something in this sense, right? Them fly-by-night broads, them 6-month broads. No. None of that. You don't keep them around. I don't even keep numbers around.
The bravest thing a hero can do is stop trying to win and just
spin in the
make
block.
Peace.
Cut that
to
shit
admit
out.
your faults and to move forward in the right way. And now that he has, he's finally ready to face where he really came from, to get the answers that his dad never gave him.
Yeah, fuck you,
the
Martin.
Islands miniseries gives him that answer. Alongside Jake, Susan Strong, and BMO, Finn travels across the ocean in search of other humans. And what he finds isn't some epic human legacy, it's control, sterility. His mom, Minerva, is just as selfless as Finn is, with the same desire to help as many people as possible. But the only option that Minerva saw to make that possible was through sacrificing freedom for safety. The humans of the island don't explore, don't grow. In Finn's eyes, they're not really living. And for a moment, Minerva even tries to pull Finn into that safety bubble.
That sounds very, very familiar to segments of, as I mentioned, the matriarchy that my family developed. That safe bubble. Don't go anywhere. Why are you doing all that? Why are you doing what them white people is doing? Oh, that's white people shit, right? You stay in your safe bubble. The mother, the matriarchy. Okay. Again, Finn's got a lot of parallels in his life and story.
Humans of the island don't explore, don't grow. In Finn's eyes, they're not really living.
They're not.
And for a moment, Minerva even tries to pull Finn into that safety bubble.
But none of that matters because you can stay safe right here with me.
To reclaim him, to reparent him. But Finn says no. Gently, lovingly, but firmly.
Mom, listen, I'm so happy I finally got to meet you and learn about humans, but I have to get back to my life eventually.
Because he's earned his scars, his messiness, his life. He doesn't want to be safe anymore. He wants to be real. He wants to really live. And in choosing to go back to Oo, he makes one thing clear. Being human isn't about biology. It's about choice, about autonomy. He finally knows who he is, not because someone told him, but because he's lived through enough to decide it himself. Little does he know, though, his identity struggles come rushing right back in OO. Fern, the struggling grass clone version of himself, attacks him. They fight. Finn tries to help him, to save him, to reason with him.
I know you do, Fern. Listen, we can stop this and just go home together. All this lying and fighting, it doesn't have to end like this.
But it's too late. Fern falls, and Finn watches the light fade from someone who looked just like him, who was him for all Fern knew. It wasn't just a battle. It was an accidental execution when Finn's robot arm turned into a weed whacker. And for the first time, Finn isn't just a hero who failed to save someone else, he fails to save himself. A version of himself warped by pain and never shown enough love. And the weight of that doesn't go away when the screen fades to black.
A version of himself that wasn't loved. Amazing. How do you save that part of yourself?
Execution.
How do you save the part of yourself that didn't get the affection it needed? It's crazy. And then through this adult storytelling, he just destroyed that part of himself. Again, we run from the things that scar us or the things that we fear.
When Finn's robot arm turned into a weed whacker. And for the first time, Finn isn't just a hero who failed to save someone else, he fails to save himself. A version of himself warped by pain and never shown enough love. And the weight of that doesn't go away when the screen...
Imagine the Finn, right, warped by pain. Remember the pain he felt from his father? Imagine if there was another multiverse, right? The multiverse Finn. There he is.
Screen fades to black. After Fern's death, Finn can't even draw his sword. He hesitates, freezes. Every monster looks like someone he couldn't save. He's not being lazy, he's not afraid of dying, he's afraid of hurting someone again. But in the middle of this quiet spiral, someone shows up. Not to fix him, not to tell him what to do, just to be there. And that's Huntress Wizard. She just reminds him that his instincts are good by throwing herself into harm's way and seeing if he'll save her. And sometimes that's all healing needs. Not necessarily a grand redemption, just someone who sees you and really believes that you're still good. By the end of this episode, Finn lifts...
Someone who sees you and still believes you're good. Again, someone pouring into you, right? Someone recognizing you, recognizing the good. Someone pouring into you.
That's all healing
supporting
needs.
You.
Not necessarily a grand redemption, just someone who sees you and really believes that you're still good. By the end of this episode, Finn lifts his sword again. Not to prove he's fine, but to try again, and with a little more gentleness this time. Because healing doesn't happen all at once. It starts with feeling seen and loved again, and slowly takes off from there. But before he can fully make peace with Fern's death, he returns. Or maybe it's only his anger and pain stuffed into a body that refuses to rest. Either way, he's back. And this time, he's not confused. He wants to end Finn.
And if I win, chop chop.
In that moment, Finn sees what happens when you don't deal with your pain. He's starting to realize he can't outrun the parts of himself he doesn't like. He has to face them. By the time Gumbaldia rolls around, there's a war coming. Gumbald has built an army. The Candy Kingdom is on edge. And Finn, the boy who once dove headfirst into every battle, now wants to stop it before it even starts. He believes there's another way, a way without any fighting. So he does something radical. He asks for a meeting, offers peace.
Wait! I'm a diplomacy boy today!
Even shares his stories, hoping it'll help Gumbald see that there's a better path. But obviously it doesn't work. Gumbald betrays him and leaves Finn soaked in dum-dum juice. And even
blanks
after all
out
that,
his memory.
He still
basically just blanks out his memory.
Believes that there's a way to solve this, one without fighting. That's when you realize that truly Finn isn't that boy swinging the swords around anymore. He's really a young man trying to build peace in a world that keeps choosing war.
And what's crazy is if you think about the home math levels, right? There's the fire, water, fuck levels, the levels 1, 2, and 3, just thinking about me. Then there's thinking about how other people think. Then there's thinking about how other people think about the world. And it gets bigger, right? And you start to think about how everything works together. Finn's already getting to that point. He's already evolving, right? He's maturing.
And he's not giving up. When Gumball and PB come face to face, not willing to talk it out, he sends them all into a dream realm instead. And in that dream, something extraordinary happens. The war ends. Not with a victory, not with a death, but with a conversation.
And you have to look at the way that he's playing the hero now. There's other strategies being executed. He's evolving. He's maturing. He's bringing people to conversation. He's no longer thinking fighting with the sword.
An honest one. PB apologizes to Gumball for not respecting his vision for the Candy Kingdom. Gumball fake accepts her apology and
Heroism has many different faces, right?
And agrees to end the conflict, intending to betray her. But that plan fails when he's tripped by Aunt Lolly and once again doused in his own dum-dum solution, turning back into Punchbowl. Lolly accepts the peace agreement in his place, and PB proclaims that the two kingdoms shall live in harmony. Sadly, though, that wasn't the end of it, as the war still took its toll. Inside the Dream Realm, Finn and Fern defeat the grass demon that was holding Fern together.
Big Natty.
In the end, Finn
How are you,
couldn't
bro?
save everyone. He couldn't save Fern. After removing the evil that was holding him together, the rest of him fell apart. He tried with everything he had. Not because he had to, he could have just left Fern and not felt anything. After all, he attacked him.
Remember, the empathy that we still have exists, right? We're putting up barriers. We're defending ourselves. We're trying to work with society. But it still impacts us, right? It still impacts us.
But that's not who he was. He chose to be better than that.
Right.
The hero who saved kingdoms, who stopped wars, who gave his childhood, his body, and his heart for everyone around him.
Right? His childhood, his body, right? Physically, quote unquote, right? He gave his arm to that relationship he had with his father, right? All these pieces that have analogs to us as adults, right? Let's
but
go.
For the longest time,
Home stretch.
He couldn't help himself. He couldn't
help
save
himself
because he didn't know how. Not until he stopped running from his grief and faced the versions of himself that he hated. Not until he worked through his own problems and worked to save himself would he be able to be the proper hero that everyone knew. Finn's story was never about slaying dragons or kissing princesses. It was always a story about growth, about learning to live with your scars, about choosing peace even when chaos is familiar, about learning that love isn't something you win. It's something you receive and something you wholeheartedly and willingly give.
Gentlemen, it's something you receive and wholeheartedly give. I know everybody's not looking for love. I know some of us are just looking for the slay, looking for the quick. But those of us that are looking for love, if you are, there's an evolution there. You have to understand that there's a give and take, right? And you have to understand that you are owed something as well, right? Someone should pour into you the same as you're pouring into them. It's not just a one-way thing. No simps here.
Even when chaos is familiar. About learning that love isn't something you win.
There it is.
It's something you receive and something you wholeheartedly and willingly give.
There it is.
In the end, Finn's greatest adventure wasn't out there. It was inward. He was never just a hero. He was a boy, trying to figure out who he was in a world that kept asking him to be more. And slowly, beautifully, he became someone who didn't just save others. He became someone who could finally save himself. A real hero.
And if this story moved you, if you want to see how Finn, after everything, found love again, not through obsession or rescue missions, but through stillness, respect,
all right,
and quiet connection, then check out our next...
All right, stillness, respect, and quiet connection. How he found love.
Episode where Finn finds love again, and what it teaches. All right, back to my nap.
All right, so he's going on a nap. Some of y'all are bailing out of the chat as well. I did see that. Some of you guys remain with me this evening. Thank you so much, invaders, for being here this evening. It's another night of self-discovery. But before, do we want an encore? Look, let's click this back again. Hold on a second. Thanks for watching, but we have the episode where Finn finds love again. Do we want to explore more? I see FDNHT, Cuzzo. He says, no, Cuzzo. Do we want to continue? Do we want to explore finding love again and what it teaches? 15 minutes, 14 minutes. Your boy C.I.P. might respond with some commentary here or there. Make it a 20-minute add-on. Encore, yes. Encore, no. What are we thinking? Encore, yes. Cuzzo spoke up. Let's go. I didn't watch much past season 3, says Raphael. Raphael, what's up, homie? So glad to see you, bro. How are you? Encore says 12. Let's go, y'all. I was telling the people that left, no, run it, cuz. Run it. Let's go. All right. We going.
There comes a time in your life when...
Now, your boy CIP did watch this. So... again, parallels. I was going to save this for another episode, y'all. Y'all are killing me, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it tonight. That's right. Encore, Team Insomnia. Let's go. We're learning a lot about ourselves. And your boy CIP's got plenty of commentary on this one, too. Especially when he goes through the different ladies that our boy Finn has had in his life. Flame Princess, L-Dot, where you at, sis? Love you, bestie. Let's go.
Love feels different than it did before. Not louder, not faster, just quieter.
Quiet.
That's what happens to Finn. After all the heartbreak, the chasing, the messy feelings.
There it is, the chasing, the messy feelings, all the love stuff that we go through, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm going to say it again. There are many, many parallels between the stories that have been told in Adventure Time and the stories that we go through in our lives. This is
there comes
awesome.
a time
Team
in your
Insomnia,
life when
let's go.
Love feels different than it did before. Not louder, not faster, just quieter. That's what happens to Finn. After all the heartbreak, the chasing, the messy feelings, he doesn't fall in love the way he used to.
Nope.
This time, it sneaks up on him.
I'm
Not
waiting
as an
for
obsession, but as understanding. This is the story of how Finn finds love again and how he's changed with everything that happened before it.
The story of CIP finding love
Begins
again.
with Jake looking for his brother.
But where's Finn? I need him on this adventure.
Finn's been missing for 2 weeks, off the grid, deep in the wild.
Word on the street is Finn's been hanging with a new lady.
Who?
Raphael, you ain't never lie, bro. Bro, let me tell you. So many different... Yes, bro. And but you know what? Hold on a second. I'm not doing justice to our buddy Lessons Of. I need everybody to go check out our buddy Lessons Of. Okay? Go check out Lessons Of. Pinned in the chat is my new channel, the travel channel. But I need everybody to also subscribe, not just to the travel channel, but to Lessons Of. There's some good stuff here, you guys. There's some good stuff here. Not just Adventure Time, but we also have Gumball. The Gumball stuff, especially the Darwin story. Earning love through trials. Darwin's story. We might have to do that one day, you guys. Lessons Of. Go check him out. Go check him out. You'll understand where your boy CIP's coming from with these life adventures we go through. All right, back to love, you guys. Let's explore love. We're not going to put this on a Black Hole Math episode. We're going to talk about it tonight.
Is it? Jake's not worried, just curious.
Yeah, the Gumball ones are great.
He stretches up through the trees, high above
Jake,
the canopy.
Look at Jake.
What he sees...
Jake, look. This is like the homie. Like, homie, I'm trying to talk to my girl, and you out here... not even cock blocking, but you messing up the vibe. What are you doing? Jake, come on,
Makes him pause. There, under the moonlight, is Finn, playing a flute. And across from him, Huntress Wizard, quiet, listening. Jake watches from above, not wanting to interrupt what looks like a ritual, or maybe a date. But just as the music begins to settle, Huntress Wizard steps back.
Okay, the music's settling. Huntress Wizard is stepping back. Jake is out here throwing game. And our friend, benefactor, and homie, TQS is dropping cash apps, and your boy C.I.P. missed it. Let's go.
More money, more money, more money, yeah. More money, more dollar bill. More money, more money, more money, yeah, yeah. More dollar bill. More money, more money, more money, yeah. More money, more dollar bill.
That's Dos. Dos show producers for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the brothers TQS and Cuzzo, FDNHT Trend. You guys, my subscribers, right now, I am not monetized. I do this because I love the craft. This is a hobby. Okay, it's a hobby. I spend time with you guys because I love sharing the adventures. I love sharing the culture. I love sharing everything that we do. All right. Everything that I do, I bring to you. So I greatly appreciate that y'all contribute. You've seen the growth of the channel, the stream deck. It's all goes right back into bringing better entertainment to y'all. So thank you again so much, y'all. Uncle Rick, what's up, bro? How are you? We on an insomnia mission tonight, Uncle. Your boy C.I.P. has learned a lot about himself, personal development, growth, and we are drawing analogs between our boy Finn in Adventure Time and us. Your boy C.I.P's already explored building boundaries and being the hero, but more than anything, Uncle Rick being the hero for himself, which is what we can't forget, right? We can't forget that as men, as humans, being there for ourselves, setting those healthy boundaries. Now we are investigating Finn and love. Your boy C.I.P. has Black Home Math over here on the channel, but tonight we're going to draw some parallels with our homeboy and his growth through love. Huntress is an archetype I've come to know, says Raphael. Bro, salute to you. Huntress probably be that girl that gets paranoid because Finn's saying everything she wants to hear, and it seems too good to be true. Raphael, I think I just exited a relationship like that. I think it scared her in the end, and she started showing red flags to protect herself, which destroyed the relationship. Very curious that you said that, bro. If you can't swim, how could you save someone who is drowning? Put the gas mask on yourself before the baby. Absolutely. Oxygen mask, gas mask, protect yourself before the children in the room. Otherwise, you can't help them. Though I haven't watched this season of Adventure Time. No problem. I think our homeboy is going to spin through. So let's go. It's an insomnia
under the
night.
moonlight is Finn, playing a flute. And across from him, Huntress Wizard, quiet, listening. Jake watches from above, not wanting to interrupt what looks like a ritual.
Shame on you, Jake.
Maybe a date? But just as the music begins to settle, Huntress Wizard steps back. And like that, she's gone. Jake drops down, sobbing.
I'm sorry, man. I want you to have a healthy relationship with someone cool.
But Finn shrugged.
You know, Jake is the man. You know what? Everybody needs a homie like Jake. Just listen to what he said.
That she's gone. Jake
listen
drops
to his
down,
words.
Sobbing.
I'm sorry, man. I want you to have a healthy relationship with someone cool.
Everybody needs a friend like him, bro. Everybody needs a friend like Jake. He's just looking for the best. Iron sharpens iron. You need the gentlemen, circle yourself with men that sharpen you, all right? Guys that are looking out for you, not hating on you.
But Finn shrugs. He said it's not like that. He's just helping her summon a forest spirit with music, alone, in the woods, for 2 weeks. Jake's not buying it, and neither are we. Because here's what we know. This isn't the Finn who kissed girls to feel better. This isn't the Finn who begged to be loved. This is someone different. Someone who isn't rushing into feelings. Someone who's learned how to wait. So Finn tells Jake how
your boy C.I.P. said patience earlier. Here we go again.
It all started. It was a quiet day. No quests, no kingdom in danger. Just Finn, a river, and a flute. He sat naked in the water, letting his grass arm guide the melody. A song that wasn't for anyone until she appeared. Huntress Wizard. She stood at the edge of the river like she'd been listening for miles.
You're what I've been looking for.
And just like that, something shifted.
Okay, I gotta comment on Jake's hair, you guys. What's going on? Jake is his true self. He let his golden locks flow. Bro just said, you know what? I'm my true Jake, and I'm just gonna be myself. Okay, I get it. Jake got the golden locks. Your boy C.I.P. has got the gray fox. Let's go. I'm sorry, Finn the human. You right, Ralph. Finn's hair. I got stuck on Jake being a good homie, and I just locked his name in my brain. Plus rum. That's right. We're the hero, and we are also the Mandalorian tonight. C.I.P. is full hero mode with a little bit of rum and coke. So, thank you. Finn the human. Role reversal. Right. Right. You guys got me. He's being in his feminine. I love you guys. All right, let's go.
And just like that, something shifted. A connection. One that neither of them could quite name. And it stayed that way. No confessions, no pressure, just two people wandering the forest. Finn playing his flute, Huntress Wizard listening. She says it's to summon the forest spirit. He says he's just helping her. But that's not the whole truth.
Finn, that's not why you're here.
Because the truth is, this is the first time Finn's been close to someone since it all went wrong. Since Princess Bubblegum kept him at arm's length. Since Flame Princess burned too hot and too fast. Since Rose Linen was just a dream. Since Breezy left him feeling emptier than before.
Yep. Because she poured into him, but then when you don't have that anymore, you feel empty because there's nothing else pouring into you. So you have to go on that journey of of exploring the unknown until you find what you need, right? That's that uncomfortable part of being an adult. That's that pain, right? Because there might be pain beyond the breezy, right? The one that poured into.
He's not trying to prove anything. He's just being, and somehow that's enough.
That's it, right? He's just being. He's just existing as Finn the human. Finn, got it right this time. Finn the human, right? He's just existing as C.I.P. And boom, there she comes. It's just what he needed.
Now they're facing a problem, though.
Yes, he did.
The flute spell isn't working. Huntress Wizard thinks she has the solution, though.
I think the problem is your flute. We should make you a
Okay, all jokes aside, I think I've dated a lumpy space princess once or twice, Raphael. Don't tell anybody. Delete this.
better one from a magical tusk, like the tusk of the legendary thunderboar that lives in these woods.
So she invites him into her world, to her home among the trees, to drink from a spring of visions, to hunt a magical boar whose tusk will become the perfect instrument. In the morning, Huntress Wizard leads them to a spring.
Look at this.
She says drinking from
It's
it
so
will grant
awesome.
them immunity to the lightning boar, but it comes with a side effect: strange dreams. Finn drinks anyway.
Oh no, she's a hippie chick. She got him taking the mushrooms and ayahuasca. Oh no.
Without hesitation. And just like that, the forest folds around him. He finds himself in a hallucination where he meets the forest spirit. Not as a monster, not as a threat, but as a mirror. The spirit offers him the Finn sword, but not to fight with.
Now plunge that into
Nope.
your heart.
And Finn just does it. He
Discover
doesn't
who
ask
you
if it's
are.
safe. He doesn't ask if it'll work. He just trusts, with just a little bit of lingering obsession.
I'll do it, to help Huntress Wizard.
Now, the old Finn, the one who ran headfirst into every problem, would have demanded control, would have pushed, flailed, begged for a solution. But this Finn? He's learning to sit with things, to let the melody guide him, to take a leap of faith. Not for glory, but for growth. And when he awakes, he's changed. Not just immune to lightning, but clearer, calmer. Not because the dream made him powerful, but because he let it speak to him. The old relationships, they taught him to chase. This one, it's teaching him something different. Something we're about to see.
Yeah, your boy CIP doesn't chase anymore. There's something different. There's something different coming for your boy, right? Like a different adventure, something new, something will come to him instead of him chasing that. And it's not about the chase anymore.
With his immunity awakened, Finn, Jake, and Huntress Wizard set off to find the electric boar. It's not just a battle, it's a test. This
There
time,
we go.
Finn doesn't try to impress a girl or chase her, he just lets her do her thing. All he eventually does is tear off the tusk with his bare hands, and the boar, in classic Adventure Time fashion, rolls its eyes and
It's like,
says
bruh.
they could have just asked.
You just wanted a tusk? You could have asked.
The tusk
Boom.
grows back instantly, because the real challenge wasn't strength or power or battling, it was the intention. Huntress Wizard carves the
The what?
or power or battling, it was the intention.
Oh, the intention. The intention behind the relationship. He is. I kind of wanted to say that. Raphael. Yeah. I kind of wanted to say that. But at the same time, I might have to go back and like watch the episodes to see if he really did simp or if he really did just go like, just go along with it all. At this point, trying to impress. When you try to impress, he's simping, bruh. He's simping. They be acting like he's not a simp now, but he's still, yeah, he still is. He's impressing the girl. And he rode in on her mission, right? But in the end, the intention was just get the prize. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. If he comes out with heartbreak in the end, we know he was a simp. So let's watch. It feels like it, right? It feels like it.
Huntress Wizard carves the tusk into a new flute, a jagged, lightning-shaped melody waiting to be played. Finn plays it. And again, it doesn't work. Not at first.
You can stop. He's gone for good, and I should just deal.
Jake, ever the romantic, nudges them both.
Hey, why don't you two try playing together? Use that chemistry to guide the music.
So they play. And
So Jake was like, step down your feminism. Why are you demanding Finn play the flute? Why don't you get up there with him?
Forest stirs. The spirit returns, not from one player's force.
It's about harmony, not feminism. Say it, Jake. That's right. Tell her.
They play. And the forest stirs. The spirit returns, not from one player's force, but...
And Raphael, you spoiled it. You're right. It ends up being fool's gold. Because she runs. She's a runner. She's a track star. She's a track star. She's a jungle girl. You're never gonna tame her. Oof. Damn, he earned his place in her heart. He earned his place in her life, but this woman could never be tamed by him.
From two in sync.
But he learned to accept something different. He learned something new. Right? Like we and I think Raphael, I think you and I have probably seen our fair share of experiences. So yeah, it's one of the branches on the tree.
That's what the symbolic meaning of the flute spell is really about. Not magic, not even necessarily romance. Harmony.
Right. Harmony.
In past relationships, Finn played louder, tried to lead the rhythm. But here, he listens, adjusts, flows with her instead of at her. As the spirit chats with Huntress Wizard, Finn realizes this was never about the spirit. Not for him. He looks at her and admits, finally,
I was playing my flute for you the whole time.
Simply, honestly, he tells her that she's great, and she doesn't deflect. She steps forward, and then she kisses him.
My flute spell was for you too.
Not dramatic, not fireworks, just honest.
See? She's like the girl you'll never get. Yep, girls like that are for situationships at best. Even if women like this are sincere, you'll never be able to tie them down. They're gypsies. They're gypsies of the heart. They're gypsies of the heart. You may earn a place, but not forever.
She smiles.
You're an
Yeah.
exceptional beast, but exceptional beasts.
It's a beautiful sadness. But the guy has to be in good faith to get the best side of her, even temporarily. Absolutely. You have to be on your square with that woman, even to gain an increment, a teeny tiny bit of that affection. And for Finn to earn this is an epic moment, right? Like in our adventure time in real life as real humans. Yeah, absolutely.
Like us,
Well,
not falling.
yeah, 12. You're talking about the modern day. Yeah, you're talking about modern day bullshit. But your boy doesn't always slang that. So a lot of times it is just the interaction. But the guy has to be in good faith. Yeah, exactly. No Diddy. You can say whatever you want in that respect. That's not the Diddy comment. If a man said it, it would have been.
Love, that is the secret of ordinary people.
Because to her, love makes you soft, makes you vulnerable.
There we go.
That's still a threat. But Finn...
See, she's a hardcore. Love makes her vulnerable.
And that's still a threat. But Finn, he doesn't argue. He doesn't plead. He doesn't break. He just nods.
Nope.
He accepts it. Because this time, it's not about getting the girl. It's about being okay with
It's about
not
smacking her?
needing
No.
to.
Smacking
That's
them
what
cheeks?
makes this different.
Oh,
With
no, playing the
Bubblegum,
flute.
He obsessed over her. With Flame Princess, he self-destructed and harmed others.
Yep.
But with Huntress Wizard, he simply let it be.
Take it easy, Huntress Wizard.
Back at the treehouse, Finn thanks Jake, not for his advice, but for his presence. Because healing doesn't come from closure, it comes from a gradual understanding. And in this quiet moment, we see it.
Oh, yeah.
Finn isn't just moving on from love.
Yeah.
He's
She'll have
grown
voodoo
into
dolls
it.
of you in her
Sorry it
bedroom
didn't work out
burning.
with Huntress Wizard. She just needs time to miss how cool you are.
Attracting forces come and go, man.
That episode is the last we see from Huntress Wizard for about 2 seasons.
2 seasons. He spent all that time hanging out with the hippie chick. And then we don't see her for 2 seasons. But our boy's evolving. He's like, hey, yo, some chicks gotta be free. Let them be free. He gets it. He gets it. As those relationships where situationships, Raphael called it out.
When we see her again, a lot has changed. In the next chapter of the relationship, episode The Wild Hunt, we don't see a dramatic confession or a breakup. We see something quieter and deeper.
Don't kill me, Finn. Here I go.
Finn can't bring himself to fight anymore. Even when a wild monster threatens the Candy Kingdom, Finn hesitates. He freezes. Because hurting things, even dangerous things, reminds him too much of Fern, who he had to kill days before. And that hesitation, that echo of guilt, nearly costs lives.
Jake, I'm sorry. I couldn't do it.
Love you forever, man, but your guilt's hurting the team dynamics.
It's not the monster that
Poor
saves
Jake.
him.
It's getting away.
Oh, Huntress Wizard.
It's Huntress Wizard. Not to flirt, not to save the day, but to get him to understand. She watches Finn struggle, and together they track the creature. That's when Finn confesses he can't bring himself to kill. He can't stop seeing Fern.
Every time I'm about to wail on some monster, I remember seeing Fern go kaboom. Guilt paralyzes me. I can't seem to final blow anybody.
So Huntress devises a plan. When the creature strikes again, she takes out its legs and Finn strikes its belly. But when that doesn't work, she makes a bold move and puts herself in danger. Only because she trusts Finn. She believes he'll act. Not because he has to, or because he's trying to prove anything, but because he'd want to.
Huntress Wizard, get out of the way!
Finn doesn't let her down. He saves her. But more than that, he saves a piece of himself. Because HW didn't try to fix him.
Yeah, right. We both know you're totally in love with me.
She made space for him to choose. In every past relationship, Finn tries too hard, made grand gestures, tangled himself in obsession. But this time, he does less. And it...
12, you better stop trolling the chat. That was not. It was actually pretty violent and disgusting because Fern was a version of him. He killed the version of him he couldn't control. Fern was the hurt. Fern was the embodiment of trauma. That was his trauma. That was his trauma child. So if you have, you know, a happy you on one side, one shoulder, and then a sad you on the other shoulder, a little angry you on the other shoulder, you know, like the devil you and the angel you, he had the trauma hurt him, and that was Fern. So when he executed Fern, deleted Fern, he basically killed off that part of himself that was traumatized, that missed the dad, all that stuff. So,
Means more.
the unknown.
That's the lesson. The people who truly help us heal aren't always the one who try their hardest to fix us.
Stop it.
They're the ones who let us show up when we're ready and give a gentle guiding hand. And in that space, the one between silence and support.
Penetration of an object is not always sexual. Stop that, 12. Shame on you for doing that to this cartoon. Shame on you.
Trust grows.
This is a tender moment of trust and growth for Finn.
The people who truly help us heal aren't always the one who try their hardest to fix us. They're the ones who let us show up when we're ready and give a gentle guiding hand.
There it is.
And in that space, the one between silence and support.
And see, these are the people that pour into us. These are the individuals who sharpen us as humans, right? Iron sharpens iron. There are individuals, it doesn't have to be, you know, guys, it's a guy's channel. So guys, it doesn't always have to be a guide, but there's moments, right? Chicken from the bone, like the whole Bruce Lee fundamental, like you're gonna pull pieces of who you are from situations, from interactions, from these interactions, these situations that we find ourselves in. Interesting that after dating Flame Princess, he dates two pretty opposite green themed girls. Maybe that also was on purpose from growth, because Flame Princess was destruction. So maybe there was growth and rebirth, maybe. Hey, symbolism's everywhere, man. We don't know what they're thinking when they were producing the show, but that's a damn good point. Damn good point.
And it means more. That's the lesson. The people who truly help us heal
There it
aren't
is.
always the one who try their hardest to fix us. They're the ones who let us show up when we're ready and give a gentle guiding hand. And in that,
And that also is a reflection of his own hero journey, that sometimes he just needs to show up for others, because they're not going to be receptive until he shows up, or they're not going to be receptive until he makes his presence known. So showing up is really all you have to do to be a hero for some people.
that space, the one between silence and support, trust grows. The last major appearance we see HW make isn't on a big adventure, it's a party. Finn turns 17, surrounded by friends, and there she is, Huntress Wizard, on the edge of it all. She approaches slowly, holding a gift box. Inside, an elk heart. Raw, bleeding, still warm. It's not what most people would call romantic, but that's not the point.
Nope.
It has emotional and metaphorical significance.
See?
Finn doesn't
Hippie chick.
laugh. He doesn't get awkward. He doesn't retch. He doesn't even blink. Because something in him recognizes the truth in it. It's not the heart that matters, it's the fact that she offered it. Now, the elk heart isn't just weird, it's Huntress Wizard, distilled, primal, direct, and deeply sincere. It's symbolic too, of course. The heart is an organ of life, of emotion, of vulnerability. To hand it over isn't just a romantic gesture, it's an act of courage. But maybe more importantly, it's an act of trust. And trust is the one thing neither of them has ever given away easily. Finn's younger self would have made this moment about himself. He would have taken the gift and spun it into a story, proof that she loved him, confirmation of something.
Hey, how many of you guys exist in that delusion that the smallest gesture from a love interest is spun into this gigantic story? How many of you guys do that? I think a lot of us do.
Made this moment about himself. He would have taken the gift and
That's a little bit of narcissism. We gotta look at the whole picture.
spun it into a story, proof that she loved him, confirmation of something. But here, he doesn't need proof.
No.
He doesn't need clarity. He just accepts it. Sometimes,
Yeah, it's not about. And again, he was chasing, right? He was chasing bubblegum. He was chasing Flame Princess. He thought he had found this great thing, right? So he had wrapped himself up in selfish delusion. Hold on. Wait. Where's my girl Twigs? I almost want to bring her into this because this is like ego death, right? Like bro has evolved. Bro has grown up. He's matured. Hey, your boy C.I.P. remembers days like this. I'm just saying. I'm sure there are many of us that exist in this same brain space. People often reframe nothing into everything and everything into nothing. Yes. Yes. When being self-holistic. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Spot on.
that's what maturity looks like. Not knowing where something will go, but still being present for it. There's no final conversation, no big "what are we" talk, because not everything real needs to be defined. Sometimes that kind of love is found in shared stillness, in letting someone walk beside you without needing them to follow you, in watching someone drift towards the trees and knowing they'll return, not because you asked them to, but because they chose to. That's what Finn and Huntress Wizard have now. Not certainty, but something better. Peace. And after all the chaos, that's enough. Love in this story isn't loud. It doesn't demand declarations or finality. It moves like the forest, slow, patient, and alive with quiet meaning. And there's a lot of symbolism involved. Starting with the forest. Huntress Wizard lives in the wild, not in castles or kingdoms, but in a place where things grow slowly, where things are untamed, where silence isn't awkward, it's sacred. And that's where Finn ends up, not just physically, but emotionally. He's not igniting fires anymore like he did with Flame Princess. He's learning to sit among the trees, to feel things bloom over time, to understand that real connection isn't sparked, it's grown. That's why their moments matter. Not because they're dramatic, but because they're still. Then there's the mask, which HW never removes. She keeps it on, even in moments of closeness. And yet, Finn never asks to see her face. That might have bothered him once, but now, he knows that not everything has to be unveiled to be understood. Sometimes love is letting someone keep their mask, and loving them anyway. Because what matters isn't the face, it's the presence, the choice to show up at all. And finally, there's symbolism in the hunt. Finn used to chase love. With Flame Princess, he ran after it, desperate to possess, to prove, to win. But with Huntress Wizard,
oh God, guys, how many times we done that? Desperate to prove, to win.
With Flame Princess, he ran after it, desperate to possess, to prove, to win. But
you're mine. I can prove it. I'm the best dude ever.
With Huntress Wizard, he does something harder. He waits. Because this isn't a chase, it's a hunt. And he's not the hunter, she is. The rules are different now, and he's okay with that. Because love, real love, isn't about the prize at the end. It's about the journey you take to meet someone where they are. And then staying there, even if only for a while. So what does it teach? That love isn't always about knowing someone fully. Sometimes it's about accepting the pieces they choose to share with you. It's about growing like trees, side by side, not tangled, not demanding. It's about giving someone the freedom to disappear into the woods and the peace of knowing they might come back. This wasn't a love story in the traditional sense.
There we go.
It was a lesson.
There we go. It wasn't a love story in the traditional sense. Now we're getting to it, right? Now we're getting back to what Raphael and myself were talking about.
They might come back. This wasn't a love story in the traditional sense. It was a lesson.
There we go.
Emotional maturity isn't how loudly you love, it's how quietly you let someone be, and how you have to become someone you love yourself for others to love you the same. If you enjoyed this look into the heart of a boy
Boom.
who's grown...
There it is. Again, he hit on the subject matter, right? He hit on it again. Loving yourself, right? Understanding all the pieces that you got to put together to love yourself so that when the right one shows up, just take it easy. You pace it. Mark says, I have.
Wiser with every heartbreak, you'll love our latest video on Darwin from the
Heartbreak.
Amazing World of Gumball, the episode where he becomes family and what it teaches.
There we go. And that's probably how I watched the episode of Gumball, when he becomes family. So we're going to talk about that. Or when Darwin. I'm messing up everybody's names in these shows tonight. But when Darwin becomes family on the Gumball episode, that's another kind of struggle, right? The heartbreak, family, what it teaches, the bond that it builds, the lengths you go through for those that you love, those of us that have true empathy, those of us that have true empathy. All right? Those of us that are heroes, those of us that keep it all together. I'm going to do another shout out to the lessons of, I really, really appreciate your content, bro. If you're out there and you caught my show tonight, I will be reacting to more of your stuff as well. Your link is in the description and I'm sharing it with my invaders. Invaders, please go subscribe to Lessons of. If I don't see his number tick up, I'm going to know that y'all did not replay this stream, did not like and subscribe over here, did not like and subscribe in the chat. At the top of the chat, you'll see a link. That's my travel channel. I'm going to be doing some adventures. I'm working on quarterly, maybe every 6 months. Your boy C.I.P. is bound to a white-collar desk job, so I do have an obligation. I also work in my community, but I will be traveling and I will be celebrating the travel, prep for the travel, thoughts about travel. I got to get the bicycle out. We got trails to hit. It's going to get cold out. Prep for that. We got so much travel and cruise and health to talk about over on that other channel. Gentlemen, subscribe. Ladies, feel free to subscribe too. You might pick up a hint or two, a tip, but it is for the boys. Boyos, mount up. Just because you love someone doesn't mean you're meant to marry them. People need to be taught to manage expectations. And also, to go along with that, Raphael, understand who they are involved with. Because everyone doesn't have the same, what's the word? Intentions. And there's a whole graph and things to ask and how to interact and communicate with that person you're involved with that our benefactor on the other series, Black HoMath, Mr. HoMath himself, he has provided us. He's a mathematician. He's got the profession behind the HoMath. And we celebrate it over here for Black HoMath. We regurgitate it and spin it up for melanated folks and for folks that need it digested again and again and again. Black HoMath over here on Culture Invasion. Please subscribe to the channel. You will receive that information as well. I definitely have participated in, donated, and subscribed to all the things that are HoMath. So as I work on content, I'll be bringing over graphs and I'll be bringing over some of the diagrams that he has to make this great, right? To make Black HoMath great. Now help us understand the levels of our intellect and how it works with our interactions with the other sex. We're all hoes here, men and women, right? We're all trying to figure this out. St. Lucia coming soon. That's right, Mark Harris. I need y'all to go hit the notification on Soca Sunday. All right? 2 days, right? What is it? 12:45. It's already Saturday. Tomorrow, you guys, 3 p.m. Soca Sunday's back. at its designated time. All right, 3 o'clock p.m. Twigs, where you at, girl? There we go. Now we got some background music. Let's go. All right, so that's right. Soca Sunday coming back up, y'all. Sunday. This Sunday, we gonna get back into it. I might troll you. I did hear that Bad Bunny is gonna be at the Super Bowl. I might troll you. It might not all be soca. It might all be soca. We might have to dumbao. We might have to throw some El Alfa. We might have to throw some Bad Bunny in there. Hey, if you from the islands, you will be represented here in Soca Sunday. If you're Tayano, you will be celebrated here on Soca Sunday. If you are of any Caribbean lineage, you will be celebrated. All right. So expect a party coming up, 3 p.m. Sunday. All right, y'all. Check out the channel. Get the notifications set. Give me a second. Your boy C.I.P. slacking right now. Let me go ahead. Let me click this. Let me get this link for y'all. And it's right. It's the post-carnival. It's the post-carnival relief. I don't know if y'all know what's up with post-carnival relief, but post-carnival relief is a thing in the Caribbean. There's a reason to have a party after the party, and to be relieved from the party, but it's still a fucking party. Welcome to the inception that is the Caribbean, and welcome to the inception that is your boy, Culture Invasion. Thank you so much, y'all, for joining Aztec, Mayan, Cuzzo. Don't you start spiraling me up the continent. Don't you start spiraling me up the continent. We gotta celebrate these little islands first, man. We gotta celebrate these little islands first. You out here trying to spiral. Look at you.
Real bad man.
Look at you. Look at you. All right, Amarin, look at you. All right, Cuzzo. All right, everybody. Cuzzo, FDNH, TQS, y'all are the show producers this evening. Thank you so much for helping your boy C.I.P. bring this edutainment to each and every one of you. Culture, knowledge, and entertainment. We back. It was a short break. Your boy C.I.P. showed you why tonight the self-discovery, the self-love we all must have, we all must share. And you know what, you guys? Let's keep everything legit. Let's keep it legit, all right? Twigs, shut up. All right, thank you, baby. Nothing is true and everything is permitted, my friends. You know where that comes from. Those of you know, right? Those of you who know. Seek knowledge and evolve. The world around us is not an absolute reality. Seek knowledge and evolve. I'm providing it for you here, you guys. Culture, knowledge, and entertainment. Your reality is subjective to what you explore in this vast world. I don't have to beg you. I'm just letting you know what you limit yourself to and experience is your own responsibility. Choose wisely, my friends. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining me on this Insomnia episode. Peace. Love you guys. We out.
Nancy feels that a newspaper, any newspaper, has the obligation to deliberately deal with those things which demand
12, Ralph, FDNHT, 2 Chains. I know you out there, sis, messy. Thank you so much, every one of you who were here this evening. Those of you who are not in the chat and may just be listening in, by all means, like and subscribe. Big up to you, each and every one. Uncle Rick, I see you. Forgot you, bro. Big Natty. Peace to each and every one.
It was a provoking challenge, and nowhere did the challenge provoke more
To develop and introduce America's first all-electronic television system.
But Mr. Bishop, this sort of thing is going on all the time. And if something isn't done about it now, someone's going to...